It's a Mac team, it's a vibe. 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 It's Friday. Link up with my brothers on the highway. Spin along with me, I have to fly with. Yeah, me I have to fly with. Friday. Link up with my brothers on the highway. Spin along with me, I have to fly with. Me I have to fly with.
Yeah. Drinking this Hennessy like it's water. Passing the ganja to my senora. I let you picture what's popping after. She gon' throw the poop, I'ma knock it out the park. Remember when I tell you, say this life is a holiday. Some people go sound too crazy. Some people go run away. Cause it's a mad thing when I arrest. Camera splash when I hop out the rest. Said I keep it cool, but obviously I lie.
It's a mad tick. It's a vibe.
Welcome, everybody.
What's good? What's good?
Hello.
This is Corey on the mic, aka Rageous, or Courageous, whichever one you want.
You're gonna keep doing this every day, right?
Hey,
Okay. Hi guys, this is Yetunde, aka Yetunde.
no, yeah, you don't have any aka. No, you wanted to pick one time, right?
I don't have one.
The Lady of Laurel or something ridiculous.
Lady
like
of
that.
Laurel?
So I thought you had picked that or something.
That was a joke, Corey.
Okay,
Really?
I was just checking.
And this is your favorite boy, G.
How do you know? Yeah, their favorite boy. What are you talking?
Because
Right?
I know.
Whose favorite boy?
I know.
Exactly.
All of them.
Who's them?
Fine boys like us. Now then they rush us.
Okay.
All right, welcome back, guys. So what's been going on in the last 2 weeks?
Nothing. Well, Beyonce was awesome.
Oh, actually, wait. Before we go on,
You can't
so what
just cut
song was
off.
that? No, I know. I just
true,
want to
true,
make sure.
Sorry,
we
I wanted to ask.
Oh yeah,
credit that song.
because I know you guys don't listen to music like that, but it's a song called "It's a Vibe" by this guy called Kida Kudz. That's KIDAKUDZ, and it's featuring Burna Boy.
Is he Nigerian?
Yeah, he's Nigerian. I think he's either one of these Canadian Nigerian guys or British Nigerian guys, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
but
You guys see that Burna Boy video? Yay.
Not yet.
You haven't
There's a
seen
video
it?
for
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's really, really nice.
Oh,
Really
really?
slick.
That's
Yo,
nice.
I
that
thought you would
video's
have seen
too
it.
clean,
You
man.
picked
I know I
out
picked
Yay.
the song last time, but
It's too
I don't,
clean, man. And
Oh,
then he had
really?
a Timaya in the video too.
Oh,
man.
really?
He did.
I don't think I know what Tamaya looks like.
Can't
It
help
was a
you
good
with
look.
that.
It's funny. I feel Burna Boy is one of those interesting artists, right? He's
I think he's the most
very
talented
talented.
Nigerian artist
very
we have.
talented.
He's versatile too.
He's very versatile.
Yeah, I think it's him, then Wiz.
But I think what's
that's all.
really unique about him is just like Wiz, right?
Yeah.
He has this. He's able to connect to an international audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His sound isn't just Afrobeat. Like it's not. It's
Yeah.
his sound really resonates with audiences outside of
Yeah,
Nigeria.
it does.
think
I mean,
that's
he
what
like
I
he
find.
was. He is. He gets a lot of low key international features. I mean, he was on that Fallout Boy project. It was the only feature on the project too.
Fallout Boy.
Yeah, it was
Really?
the only feature on the project.
I love Fallout Boy.
Yeah, and it was funny because I saw the.
How long ago was this?
This is their last project that just came out
Huh.
last year.
Wow.
And then it was funny because I saw the video of one of them talking, and they were like, when they hit up Burner, they were like, "Oh, this is Fallout Boy," and it was like, "Yo, if you're fucking joking, man, I'm gonna send my goons in Lagos to come and kill you. This is a prank call," stuff like that. And they were like, "Bro, we're real, man." But he was the only feature on the album.
Oh, wow.
But I feel Burna is like he's kind of thugged out, man.
Yeah,
if he
no.
does-
Somebody
if he
said
does
Burner's
something-
songs are. I saw a tweet where someone said Burner's songs are for guys who are sophisticated, but at any given time are ready to be an Agbero.
Yeah, as you understand.
So stuff is the ratchet, basically.
So at any time you're
The
ready
the
Burna-
ratchet.
You're
Like,
ready
I-
to turn it
I
down.
actually met
just,
him once at
you
the
know,
airport.
something like that, though.
I
So
met
like
him.
a Bugetto kind of
I
peeves
Eh,
thing.
I
Okay.
know,
Alright.
well,
Stuff is the ratchet is the
Surface
word
the
for it.
ratchet.
Yes.
Interesting.
that's
Okay.
that's
word.
yeah, that's
Something
that's
new
it,
every day.
yeah.
Like a NBA
You
during
have,
the day.
you have a suit and tie
blood
on,
during the night.
but at any time you're ready to get down
you can
fight,
just tell.
man.
You
Yeah.
can just and you can tell Burnout was a very troublesome kid
Hey,
growing
yes,
up. You could.
Isn't he
you
still
could
a troublesome
tell.
kid? Because
You
there
could
wasn't a
tell.
video of him cutting out his mother or
but
something
his
like
not
that.
his mom. So him and his mom are close.
But he was cursing her out.
Like, well, they're close. He
But how
smokes
you
in front of
cursing
her,
your mother?
and you know he does all these escapades in front of her. She's his manager too, so
Yeah.
she knows 90-something% or even 100% of everything he does. So.
And he also happens to come from a long line of Afrobeat. I guess.
Well, his grandfather was
history.
Fella's
Yeah,
manager.
his grandfather worked with Fella.
Okay.
Was his manager?
He was his manager.
Yeah.
I even thought he was just in the band or something.
No, it was his manager.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay. So he has
And
music.
then
So
I
he
think
has
his mom
insight. He has
grew
music
up
in his blood.
around the whole Fella era,
movement.
being the manager's daughter and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
But is there a reason? Like, do you think he could still, like, as far as his presence and his reach, do you think he can still go some ways? Because I feel I don't think he has hit his full potential
No.
yet. Not
No,
even
not
close.
yet. Yeah.
To be fair, like, as I love Starboy, but I think Burna is most talented. Like I just said, I think it's him. And I think it's Wizkid next. Davido, I think just
You
has a
put in
formula.
Burna over your boy.
As far as like creativity,
He produces
and-
his music, some of his music too, right?
No, and versatility, because Wiz has the whole package, and that's why Wiz is above him right now. Wiz is just not the music; it's personality. Like that guy,
True,
they seem to all love him.
Yeah, it's like
You
a
know,
package.
it's
like
a whole package. Yeah, Burner, I think he's just
still rough
changing.
around the edges.
Yeah, he's just cleaned himself a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
But like I've been a fan since his first project, first or second. It's called Burn Identity.
I did like to party.
No, that's way before that.
Oh,
he
word?
had 2 projects out before that, 2 mixtapes. So I've been a Burner fan since like 2009 or something like that, or 2008 or whatever. So I've always been a fan, and I always loved his music. And I think I'm glad to see he's finally reaching his full potential. But I think it's
he's
the
getting
two of
there.
them. I think Davido just has a formula that works for him. I mean, he has a new song out. Why Baby, I hit it, but I tell you that this time next week, I mean 2 weeks, it might be my song that I premiere,
could
because
grow on you.
Davido's songs, that's how it works.
Yeah, they
You
tend
hit
to
it,
grow
and then
on
in
you.
2 minutes you're like, oh shit,
But then you love it, and then you get
and
sick
then you
of
get
it.
sick of it again. Yeah, but it's they start to all sound like too much the same way, and then he's always using somebody else's lyrics. Like this time now, it's Akon's Locked Up is using.
Oh, he is.
I'm locked up. It's like, you know.
So-
But
Get
So
your
I'm-
own stuff, I guess.
So I'm curious,
Yeah.
who do you guys think is the next biggest like artist to come out of Nigeria? And I'm not talking about the already established ones like the Wizzes, and I'm talking about the next crop of talent.
It's tough. Nobody has shown me enough body of work that they're ready for that. Because I was going to
How
say
about
Maya
Tenny?
Okun.
You don't think
but-
Tenny?
Hold on. I was going to say Maya Okun, but I think Maya Okun is established already.
Yeah,
I was
he's
gonna say
yeah,
Maya
he's
Okun's
already
out
kind of
there.
out
It's
there.
safe
Yeah.
to say the start. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was in a club in DC and he was there for a show, and that was when he actually hit me that this guy's actually pretty big. Girls dying for him, and like guys, you know, groupies and stuff like that.
He writes a lot of
and
Davido
so-
stuff too.
Mayokun.
Yeah, he writes a
Oh,
lot of
wow.
this stuff.
They're the new guys with David, like them Peruzzi and them Yonder and all of them, but like they don't have enough body of work yet for me to be like. But I'll say Peruzzi is trying, because I like that song he has with Two-Face, or Two-Face song with him. Now back to Tenny.
I like her a lot, actually.
I think she is a rare talent.
She is. I think
She
she's a
is.
raw
Rare.
talent, and
But
I
I
don't
think
know.
she needs better writers or something. I don't know.
There's
She needs
something about Tenny
that's
that
missing.
doesn't just
Vibe yet. I
yes,
know. Yeah, I know what
resonate
you
with
mean.
me that.
Yeah.
Are you
I love
guys
her.
trying to
No,
talk
no, no.
about her?
No.
Anything
I
else?
you know, I have her own playlist
not her
on my
physical
phone.
presence.
I never said physical. Oh, you,
No,
you are
no,
thinking
no,
it.
try- No,
You
let me
are
tell you
thinking
something.
it.
That physical
we
presence
not
did. No, it did. It was.
Judge her body.
No.
No, we're not judging her.
I don't
We're-
need. Look, dude.
We're just
Physical.
we're just
First
talking
of
about
all,
like
first
her,
of
her
all,
packaging.
when we
Okay.
grew
As far
up,
as her overall
who was one
appeal.
of the biggest female artists when we were growing up? Was it
So
not
what
Miss?
happened?
No, in the world, was it not Missy Elliott?
Oh right. Well,
Yeah,
true.
she was manly. You know,
Oh.
I mean, now she's not anymore, but she was. So
She was
looks,
butch.
looks don't matter
Not manly.
in that. Oh, she was whatever. She was dykish.
So you don't think? So you can't say
Can we
that.
not say that?
You can't say that. Look,
She
you
was
can't.
a
There is a
butch
bunch
femme,
of words you
that's
can't
all.
say
Okay,
anymore.
she was.
But,
whatever,
Butch.
she was.
She
was
was
insert
She was on the
appropriate
mask side.
term here,
Yeah, on the
yeah.
mask side a little
But
bit.
with Tenny, she is raw talent. She is. I just don't know. There's just something about her
But
that's
her,
just not
she's
yet.
like,
I think that's part of why.
And then she might be in
I
her sister's shadow too.
oh yeah.
Miniola.
Think so?
Yeah.
Because
but funny
it's like-
thing is, I didn't even know they were sisters.
But when was
I
the
didn't
Well,
last
know
that's
they
the
were
thing.
time
It
Nina-
sisters.
made it.
when was the last time
Nina's album
Nina
was
put out a
hard.
hit though?
Her album was hard. Like
Apparently she
they've
has
been
an album out
DJ,
right now
was
that's
it
pretty good.
Tesco, or Tesco, whatever. One of them just redid her Maradona for like it's hard. Like
Yeah, but that was like 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
That
but
song is
still.
still good.
It's been a
though.
while.
But I didn't even know they were sisters. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was shocked.
I didn't know they were sisters at
I
all.
was shocked. But when you really look at them,
You can
see
tell,
that
yeah.
they
But
look alike.
she's new in the game, so I think give her like a year
She needs
or
the
so.
right
She
team.
will still
She needs the right team with her.
refine everything. I'm sure everything now is still just like a whole bunch of like unprofessional people learning also
Right,
with
right.
her.
So that's what I'm
So
saying.
eventually-
Team. She needs a new
So
team.
we can put her on the
Up and
lookout
coming. On the
lookout, yeah.
for her, you know.
But here's my thing, right? My thing is, my concern is I don't know if, and this is not to say like, because I love her regardless. I love the way she is. Everything about her
Notice it
is
keeps
part of
going
what.
back to her looks. Bro.
No, because
Go ahead.
it's not that I'm going back to her looks. It's that I'm trying to think in the mind of like the average Nigerian audience, right? Is that something I can
What
see
looks?
that's something that they won't be used to
It's everywhere now. See,
But
every
it's
female artist is
right.
always trying to be sexy. But at the end of the day,
in
man,
Nigeria. I'm
really?
talking about just
mean-
within the Nigerian space.
I mean,
But
So,
she
like,
can be
how-
the different,
how do
like
you
the
market-
Dej Loaf of Nigeria. How about that? Why not? Or the Young M.A. of Nigeria. What about that?
yeah. See, what young
She
girl
can
may do
do
is
that.
just keep dropping hits.
Dropping hits, exactly. Don't even focus on her looks. Just focus on her talent and her
yeah,
sound.
just-
I know
drop
I'm
it.
not focused on. I'm
Yeah, no,
saying
not you. I'm
would
just
the
saying in
Nigerian
general.
audience
I
be
feel like
able
why
to
not?
embrace
That-
that?
you
If
know what?
Bobrisky can be popping in
Don't-
Nigeria,
hey,
no,
hey,
no,
hey,
no, no,
that's
no, no,
one- That's
no.
one thing we're
Can
not
I-
going to talk about on this.
Why not?
I will
What
stand
do you-
up and leave.
What did he
You
do
can
to
leave.
you?
You
don't
can
want to
leave.
talk
I
about
it.
love
What did he do to you?
Bobrisky. I'm sorry. That's the person.
Yeti, now you know
lived
that we
his
have to
life.
bring up Bobrisky
No,
every
we
time
don't.
now. No, I'm saying we
Oh,
have
have
to bring
you-
it up.
I don't understand the irrational hate. We don't even know her. What's your point? You don't know somebody you don't know.
He
What's
still
why you?
considered himself a he though.
It's a she. She's
No,
a
but
she.
He hasn't.
No,
Back to
no,
He
Ten-
hasn't
back
claimed.
to Tenny.
He hasn't
Yeah,
claimed.
no, yes.
He did.
She
Back
has.
to
She has.
Tenny.
Yes. It's a she.
So she said she's a she.
Yes.
Because the reason why I thought that he hadn't claimed was
Uh-huh.
because technically it's still illegal in Nigeria.
Well,
to
right,
do
but
that.
she says she gets menstrual pain and all these other things. So I'm going with she.
Okay,
for
let's
her.
not. Let's not.
No,
Wale
no,
is
no, no.
about
But
to
see, no,
lose
no.
it.
We can be. That's okay. I'm not. No,
Back
I
to
don't like that.
Tenny.
No, can we?
Back to Tenny.
Can we discuss that real quick? What's
to
your beef?
Tenny.
No, no, no.
So
Can we stop? No,
Tenny-
no. I'm not gonna continue.
I like
until
the fact that
we.
Tenny
What is your beef
is
with
not doing the
Bobrisky?
sexy look because
I'm
all
not
the other
gonna
Nigerian
continue.
girls try to do that sexy music and it doesn't work for a lot of them because they try to over sexualize themselves. So I
think
like
so?
that. Yeah, a lot of them try to oversell that sex vibe, and I'll get to
Bobrisky. You can say her name.
the individual you're mentioning, but back to
You know that's very
Tenny.
homophobic and very transphobic, right? And you don't want to go down that route.
sounding like Trump. Sounding like Trump. Let me sound
no,
like
no.
Trump a little bit. I have gay friends.
Right, okay.
But but let's move on. Before we get back to Bobrisky.
Okay.
Tenny, I like the fact because I've seen a lot of Nigerian girls, artists try to come out thinking, and it's sure,
They have
I
to be
guess
sex
they have to be
appeal and
sexy to
and all
sell. I
that,
mean,
yeah.
we are looking.
Tiwa be going hard, man.
Well,
Does
she
she?
do what she got to
She be
do, man.
trying, like-
She got to do what she got to do. But like, you know, you don't have to be sexy. So what are you trying to
But
say?
what
is
if
I
that's
don't-
her though?
who?
Tiwa. What if that's how
We're
she
not
is?
talking about Tiwa now.
No, no, I'm
is.
saying, but what if that's how she is?
And
You're
that's
saying
how
she's-
That's fine.
Okay.
But I feel every other person following suit believes
That's the
that's what
formula
I
that
mean.
you
Sex
You know, I
appeal,
want to be
sex sells.
sexy. You know, Whiskey
I mean,
saying
the
stay
sex
sexy for me,
sell.
girl. It does sell. But then if you don't like you, I've seen some people that I think have talent, but when they over sexualize themselves, I'm like, God, like cut it out, man. So I'm happy Tenny is not going that route because that's
Not her.
she's
number
sexy in her
one.
own way.
Yeah, she
you
has her
know.
own.
So
thing
she's
going on.
not coming out to say, you know, do all this sex talk and that's cool. Now back to Bobrisky.
What we're not gonna do is malign
I
and
don't
talk
the
badly
same
about
way.
her.
I'm not
No,
a fan of.
but Yeti, you also have to let him speak.
I'm not a
no.
fan,
But
yes.
let's not talk negatively
No,
about
you can't-
her. That's
in all
what I'm
fairness,
saying.
you can't tell me how to talk about anybody.
No, wait.
You
wait,
can't
wait,
talk
wait,
negatively
wait,
about somebody
wait,
based on
wait.
somebody you
I'm
don't
not-
even
I never
know.
said
Wait, but
the
Yeti,
negative.
but
Okay,
Yeti,
okay, go ahead.
why can't he talk negatively about her?
It's a free world.
I mean, it's a free word, but
It's
well,
just the fact that she's a transgender.
You
Right.
like
You can't talk negatively about somebody.
Well, it depends
He
on what
might
you-
have.
it
He might
depends
be
on-
doing
you haven't even
things.
heard what I have to
okay,
say.
go ahead. Let
exactly.
you land first.
I'm not a fan of Bobrisky. Same way I'm not a fan of what's the Bruce Jenner? Is that his name?
Yes.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yes.
Because they just came out. I feel it's just all attention.
No, it's
not
not, but okay.
not who they are. how they came out.
Well,
That's
fair.
That's my thing.
I can't.
I don't. If you want to wake up today and say you want to cut off your balls, and you want to be a woman, or you want to grow balls, that's fine. Do that. You know, if you want to do that. But I don't like that whole. Is this every time? You always say in the group chat. Every time people talk about the Kardashian, I don't even like their whole persona.
Okay,
I don't like
that's
that
fair.
whole
Okay.
attention seeking.
Right. I'll give
Bobrisky
you
was
that.
a nobody before he came out
But
to do this.
she didn't ask for that,
Or
though.
she- no,
you know
what?
that Nigerian.
Someone who is coming out today telling you that he's doing what he's doing, but then come out today and say I'm not gay, but then tomorrow come out and say my
But you
baby
think-
my daddy bought this for me. Then you come out today and say you're having where you getting menstrual cycle from? But you know what? That's fine if that's what you want to tell them. And I mean, look, there's some things nature cannot change. You can grow as many vaginas as you want, but if you're a man, you're not going to have a menstrual cycle. But that's fine. We as a country can accept you and say
Right,
pro-choice.
right. Do
I'm
what you
pro-choice.
want,
You know,
right.
when it comes to like abortion.
Yeah.
So do what you want, but don't come and now start forcing it down and doing it for. It seems like it's attention driven, and when it stops favoring them attention, I feel like this guy would take off the makeup, would change everything back, and switch back to who he was. So then
don't
it tells you
know
that is
that.
that really who you are?
But we don't know.
But that's
that,
how
though.
that. But anyways, either ways, that's
I
my
see
own
your
thing
point.
with
I see your
Bobrisky.
point with the
And
attention
what do you
seeking
call it?
part.
Caitlyn, I mean, Caitlyn Jenner
Caitlyn.
or
It's
her.
yeah.
That's my thing. You guys want to confuse me with this?
No, we're not
pronouns,
confusing
but it's
you.
fine. I'll call them
Call
what they
people
want
what
to
they
be
want
called.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's my
but
only
I don't have to
thing.
then give you the light of day.
Yeah, you
Do
don't
your
give anybody
thing.
the light of day now.
That's why.
That's
So
fair.
I'm not
you
a
don't have to
fan
give anybody
of
the light of
Bobrisky.
anybody
Not because I'm
or the light of day. I should say.
I against, and he's not isn't transgender. Aren't you born with?
No.
No.
Oh, you're not? Okay,
No.
so that's hermaphrodite, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
but apparently that's not even correct anymore.
Ah.
But anyway, I don't know what the
You
correct
can't
term
use
is.
hermaphrodite anymore.
I guess
I'm
now
not
you have to
sure.
be describing everything you want to say, right?
No. I don't know what the correct term is. No, but
see,
the funny
but I-
thing. No,
but I
can I
wanna-
speak?
I wa-
Can I speak now?
Okay.
My only thing is, let's call people what they want to be called. That's it. If I decide my name is not Yetunde tomorrow, wouldn't you call me what I'm
Yeah,
actually
if you want to be
call
called
me?
Frank, I'll call you Frank.
Exactly. Whatever I
And-
asked you.
No,
to
but
call
that's
me.
different. You see,
What?
we need to make a distinction. We're talking about pronouns
Okay,
versus
and
your
I say
actual name.
he. You know?
Here's my thing, right? Look, yes, I agree. Look,
Same thing.
Me
Pronoun
personally,
and my name. Same thing.
Me personally, I would, if you want to be called a he, I'll do that.
Okay.
The only place where I draw the line is I'm not doing the they thing. I'm only. To
But
me, it's only
why
binary.
can't you
Why
call
should
somebody?
I?
So
Why
if you
should
can't
I?
listen,
You
this
see,
story.
here's my problem. We cannot start policing words. We can't.
But
I don't
call me
think
what
that's
I
fair.
want you to call me.
Well,
That's all.
As far as I know, right, there's only a he or she.
What if I want to be called they?
Then
Call me what
don't-
I request
I cannot
you to
call
call
you
me.
a plural.
Why
if-
not?
If
I
you're
don't.
not plural.
Okay, or I don't identify
No.
as. Can I? They don't identify. You know, look into these things more. They don't identify as man or woman. They're somewhere in between.
Yeah, and that's
They're
fine.
doing-
No. The non-binary
fine.
people. There's another thing called non-binary.
You see-
I do not agree with that.
In all
Who are
fairness,
you to agree with
It's
somebody?
a myth.
In all fairness,
There's
Corey,
only
okay,
there's
we're
only
not gonna
two.
do this.
No,
We're not going to
there's
do
only
this.
two sexes.
We're not going
There's
to do
male
this.
and there's female.
Corey,
Period.
we're not going to do this.
No,
You know-
I
you know
just
what?
did.
We're not going to do this. Call somebody what they want to be
don't-
called.
I
Why
don't
does it
know.
hurt you to call somebody what they
No,
want to be
you
called?
cannot police my words.
But you can. I
If
can put this
see-
what you
if
call
I-
me
if
though,
I see
right?
If you appear like a woman and you say yes, even though you're a dude and you say okay, I want you to call me a woman, that's fine. But it's either as far as I'm concerned, it has to be one or the other.
For you have to fix it in your own little box, and
No,
that's it.
no, it's not about.
yeah,
it's not about my
you.
own little box.
Yes,
it's about
basically. But you can't tell me
you
what
cannot
I
start
want you to call
yeah,
me.
but
though.
you cannot police my language.
But I'm not gonna answer to what
then
you
you
call
don't
me.
have to. You don't have to, but
Correct,
you cannot
can't do
police.
that.
No, you
You
cannot
can
police
call
language.
somebody what they want them you
All right,
be
we should
called.
move
That's
on
it.
because clearly we don't.
That's
agree on
ridiculous.
this.
That's very ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
No, it's this.
Okay.
It's this new wave of
It's
identity
not new wave.
politics.
People have been out there doing this. It's just
nah.
not getting more publicity and more.
So let me-
clout.
There are
Wait,
only
That's
two
it.
genders as
Wait.
far as I'm
Okay.
concerned:
But you know-
male
Anyway.
and female.
you know one thing I've noticed in this. I don't want to say we should draw a line, but I think there's nothing
Who are
like
you
too
to
much.
draw a line?
Hold on,
What?
hold on,
It's-
hold
it's
on. I'm not even.
English.
Let me finish what I want to say. But we need to. There's some things maybe I don't want to say we shouldn't indulge in. As like now, people are coming out saying, I'm a pedophile and I'm proud to be a pedophile.
What? No, but that's a crime. One is a crime, one isn't.
People like
No.
at this stage,
You're not
people
going to
are coming
equate.
out-
You're not
Can I
going
ask
to
you
equate.
something?
No. You're not going to equate
I'm
a
just
crime
saying-
to what somebody else wants
No,
to
no,
call
no, no,
themselves.
no.
Two different things. Pedophilia is a crime.
So
End
we
of
have,
story.
We have. So I
What?
didn't even
But
know
Yeti, can I ask you
prior
something?
to
What?
today that
Yeah,
there's
but
people
Yeti,
that
can I
want to be
ask you-
called he or she. But there's a lot of now everybody's coming out like there are about 1 million sexual orientations now.
And what's wrong with
And
that?
I'm
Do
not-
you?
It
Why would
gets-
I- why
it
would I
gets
try to keep
so
track? Apparently-
complicated because somebody wakes up today and says, "Well, this is what I want."
What's wrong with that?
Wale, do you know how many genders that
That's
there
what I'm
are
saying.
right
There are a
now?
lot of
No, I'll
genders.
tell you how
But
many.
what's
It's
wrong
a
with
little
that?
over 80.
But what I can
Okay.
say,
There's actually a list somewhere.
But you know, gender is different from sex, right?
What I
you
can
I
know
know
that,
what
right?
happened in Canada.
You
I'll
know
tell you what
that,
happened in
right,
Canada.
Corey?
Yeah,
You're
yes,
thinking of this thing.
yes,
Gender and sex are two different
But
things.
I still
I can
consider
pick-
both things being
No,
binary.
they're not the same thing.
I still
You know
consider
that.
both
But
things
okay.
being binary.
You
There's
sound uneducated
there's-
right now, but
no,
sure.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
and by
not
the way, I
uneducated.
wasn't-
This
I
is
wasn't-
actually biology.
Right.
I wasn't
And
in
that's what
biology.
you
And
said,
I wasn't
No,
equating-
this is
and gender
biology.
is not the same thing.
Hold on.
I never
But-
said it was the same thing. I'm saying
okay.
they're both binary.
And I wasn't equating this to the reason I brought up the pedophile. Just I'm like, we see how it's just funny how the world is now, where anybody can just wake up and think.
But that's a good
the
thing.
way that
I don't see
Wale-
anything wrong
Wale-
with that.
I'm going to draw the
Wale
line.
and
If somebody
Yeti.
come and say they're a
Wale
pedophile.
and Yeti.
That's
Wale
I'm
and
drawing
Well,
the
yeah,
line.
because
Can I
that's
ask
a
you something?
crime.
Wale
Duh.
and
We
Yeti,
will
can
all
I
draw a
ask you
line
something?
with that.
Can I ask you guys something? In Canada, right? There was a professor, or there was some guy. This is an actual thing
Okay.
that he refused to call someone, I guess a transgender person that might have been former he and ascribes to she now, right? But he refused to
The
do that.
professor refused.
Refused to do that,
Okay.
and he got locked up. Do you
Locked
think?
up?
Yes, in Canada.
Oh, if it's against the law, then I don't see anything wrong with that. If
How is
that,
it
if
against-
the
You don't
law
see
of
anything wrong with
Canada,
that?
if the law of the country you're in dictates
Yeah.
that you call somebody, so then why not
They've
follow
been
the
changing
law?
their laws.
Okay, so
somebody-
you follow the law.
Does that
What?
some country allow you if you call
And this
somebody
is why I'm gonna
a
sit my
nigger,
ass here in the
if a
US.
white guy calls a
If
black
it's
guy a
against
nigger,
the law, sure.
so
I
that's
don't see the
so
issue
that
with
should not
that.
be against the law.
Look, the whole
Go to the
idea
people
of
that make
free
the law.
speech.
Okay.
The whole
What?
idea of free speech
I think we're
is a
focusing on
joke
some
right
things
now.
that are not.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
But you're taking
And I-
America and Canada. Those are two different countries. Canadians have
Oh,
different
thank-
rules,
thank God
and
for
he
that.
went to jail as he should. If it's against the law,
This is how I always see
that.
it. Keep
What?
the same energy. If you're going to take someone to jail for calling somebody, then take someone to jail for calling somebody a nigger or anything they don't want to be called. Full
Yeah,
stop.
okay.
We cannot.
I don't say
all
anything
I'm
wrong with
saying
that.
is
You should,
If
I
I
should
don't
take
want
you
you
to
to
jail
call me
if you
that,
call.
don't call
If you
me
should
that.
call me Wale, I say call me G, and call me Wale, you should send to
Okay,
jail.
G, that's your name.
If
See,
that's what
the
we're
thing.
saying,
I
then
respect people,
I don't
and I will
understand
call
the
them
jail
what
part.
they want
No.
them
I
to
don't
be
understand
called.
the jail part. That's
But
too
that's
far.
the country.
So yet
See,
you-
you're look.
Can I
I'm
ask
sure
you something?
Corey overlooked a
No,
bunch
I
of stories.
didn't. I
Yes, you
didn't.
did.
You can look it
There's
up.
a law. I'm sure
Oh,
that
what?
says that. Duh,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And so
there's-
then he
there
broke
was
the
something in the
law.
law.
End of story.
And I'm telling you, that law is ridiculous.
And
It is
well, don't go
ridiculous.
and it
change the
tramples
law.
on your
What?
free speech.
It
No,
is
it
ridiculous.
doesn't. But okay,
Ridiculous.
Go ahead.
But can I ask you something?
And that's-
Yeti, do you
that's
believe
offensive.
in gender dysphoria?
I don't know enough on that to speak on it.
All right,
I'm not
all
going
right,
to go
all right,
into
then,
that.
okay,
I don't know
then
enough
we'll
about
skip it. We should just move on to the next
Yes,
topic.
that's
Move on to
please.
the next topic.
See, I'm pro. Do whatever you want to do. in your life,
Exactly.
but
So-
don't come and use it to disturb me.
No worry.
Who's disturbing
Or
you?
make you
These people, you
uncomfortable
don't
for
even know anyone that's trans.
Or-
All the people that are drinking banana for other people's headaches. Do you know any trans person?
Who
No.
told you I don't know
Who
any?
is trans that you know?
I have a
Don't
Nigga,
worry.
please sit
I have a
down.
coworker. What do you
Corey,
mean?
please
How
stop.
can you just
would
assume I
want,
don't know any
okay,
trans
so
people?
do you want your coworker to hear the word how you're talking about them right now?
How I'm talking? What do you mean? How I'm
You're-
talking about them?
okay,
You're talking as if
anyway.
I'm bashing them. What do you mean them? And you know what? You're making an assumption that every trans person actually ascribes to this school of thought.
Well,
no,
that's true. They
You're making
don't-
too
they
many
all don't.
assumptions.
They all
Even
don't.
there's some
This is true.
transgenders that
I
actually don't
believe in
agree
that.
with
Yeah,
it.
I agree with that.
You're right.
That's true.
And there's the same thing. And I'm lucky. I had the opportunity. I went to school with one guy. I know he's a white guy. He's gay, and I told him. I said, "Guy, where I'm coming from, this thing is very. A lot of people. I mean, back at least when I moved from Nigeria, it was very low key, and it wasn't as open or as accepted as, even though it's still not accepted as area now. So like, my perception of what the idea is a little different, and he was willing to indulge me in some things, and I understood that not all these people are like the F word, for instance. If
Yes.
you call someone, Brendan told me, if I see him, I say, hey, F word, he doesn't find it offensive.
Right.
because he knows it's coming from.
It's all about intent.
It's all about
Because you
intent.
know he
So it's
knows
coming
you.
from me.
Right.
But he says.
If it's
So I
someone
said,
else
oh,
does it-
my perception was if I ever said it, was like, nah, you good. You know. So I'm like,
To
so-
him.
To him, yes. To
Right.
him. So it made me
The
understand
same
that.
thing with the N word.
Yeah.
I don't mind if some. It depends on
yes.
who
So-
says
so-
it. You know
so-
what I mean?
so-
So it's the same thing.
So, like Corey said, you can't just assume that everybody trans.
Right. I agree
But I
with
agree
that.
with this whole
Right.
thing.
I was reading this a lot about this lady who's trans, and she doesn't agree with any of the stuff that's going on right now in the culture.
Yeah.
She is very against it.
But that's the world we live
very,
in.
very
Yeti,
against
can I
it.
ask you something else? Do you believe in kids being able to choose their genders?
Not until you're 18. I feel like your brain doesn't form enough.
Have you heard of this new concept called the thabies? Apparently, some people are saying
Trans babies?
No, they're not trans babies. Some people are making this case that we shouldn't even assign any kind of gender to
What?
when we raise our kids.
What?
So
But
they're
that's
calling
the
their
thing,
kids babies,
Corey,
and they want their kids to pick
it's
their
your
gender.
Yeah, see, but
So,
Corey,
I have
if
no
that's
problem
your
with it.
child,
On-
do what
see,
you want with
the
your
only time I
child
have a
until
problem-
they're
Yeah,
18.
but I can criticize.
No, the only thing, the only
can
problem
criticize.
I can have,
Feminist parenting.
I can criticize.
Let me tell you something I realized in this
I
life.
can very
And
well
you can criticize
criticize.
until you're blue in the face. That doesn't change
only
the way they
thing,
parent
only
the
time I will
child.
have a problem
What?
with it is if some idiot decides to make it a law, and that's why I say I don't like the fact that you said in
I don't think
Canada
that one
somebody
will
They
be a
did.
law.
you can't force me.
They
and
arrested
tell
the
me
guy.
because I don't call you what you want me to call you.
But
then
what's
they
wrong with
arrest
calling
me.
somebody what
And then
they want to
arrest
be
everybody.
called?
Doesn't call anybody anything they
Yeah,
want to be
and
called
it's
now.
because it's against the law.
So, but in that same
yes.
country, a white guy can
Moving
call
on
a black
though,
guy
moving
nigga and
on
he
though.
doesn't like it and they won't arrest him.
Moving
Yes,
on.
okay.
That's not equality.
Guys,
Alright.
don't worry. Moving on.
Anyway,
So,
all I'm trying to say is
Mm-hmm.
give people the respect and call them what they want to be called. End of story. Next, let's move on.
don't.
Also give people the respect to use the English language as they deem fit.
Okay,
But
whatever,
moving on.
Corey. Call people what they want to be called.
But speaking
anyway.
of N word and all this other stuff, is dumb the new N word now?
Who?
Dumb.
What's dumb?
Calling a black person dumb or
Oh, like you're dumb.
or-
But it's based on a historical thing now, Corey. You just can't throw that out there.
so is that-
black
so
people were
is
seen
that the
as
new
dumb and
N-word?
animalistic and stuff? Well, it depends on your intent now. Like we said, intent matters.
Yeah,
and
but how do you
you're
read
calling-
intent though?
But what
Yeah.
Trump said about Don Lemon and King James was he meant it that way. You know he meant it. He
How?
said the dumbest man on television,
How?
and he made LeBron look smart. Coming
How?
from a white, powerful man, it has historical context. You know that. No. I'm going back on what's America.
I didn't say that way,
America,
but
not
go on.
Nigeria. America. You guys are thinking. I don't know why, but America's.
So in
history.
America, a white person cannot call a black person dumb. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
No.
So dumb is the
Yeah.
new N word.
Well,
No,
I
you
wouldn't
know
call it
what?
N-word,
No. See,
but
and this
I
is
wouldn't
same thing. This-
equate the
no,
two,
Yeti, you have to
but
chill.
okay.
First of all, you have to chill.
I wouldn't
because
equate the
This is
two.
how you just attack me when I say I don't talk about Bobrisky because you already assumed it was coming from a negative point of view. I refuse to
because you're an
believe-
average Nigerian guy.
It doesn't
but okay.
matter.
Go ahead.
First of all, I'm not an average Nigerian
Right.
guy.
What does that mean?
Because-
Average Nigerian guy.
Because-
Anyway.
You see that shit you
No,
just
let
threw?
her throw the shade. but That's fine. Because
What shade?
I'm feeling attacked right now.
No,
Whatever.
because if that's even different. Fine, I'm even an average Nigerian guy. I love it, Yoruba boy. But you can't just assume and you can't just force what your own thought process is on people. You can't assume I'm negative to Bobrisky because I'm talking about Bobrisky.
Why are
I
we
just
talking about
don't-
Bobrisky again?
Then now
thought
you're
we
back to
moved on.
Trump. I've seen the tweet and I think it's unfair
Because
to
Trump
say.
also, but you have to. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's unfair to tell somebody to say that because somebody calls you dumb and in whatever.
We
in the
also have to look at
past.
Trump's history, though. His racist history. That you can't just. It's not one thing. If I've never seen you a white guy before in your life and you call somebody dumb, I'm not gonna assume. But I know his history.
Assumption is not
But
fact.
right, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna
Assumption
assume
is
the
not
average white
reality.
person. I'm not gonna assume they have racist
Assumption-
skinny. But Trump himself, with all his Center Park 5, all his housing practices against black people back then, even the things he said about black people now, it's fair to say that
I'm
Trump
not
has
saying-
racist over.
Nobody's
in
never
his,
said Trump is not racist.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm not going to take a tweet saying the dumbest black man
But-
is him calling him. Is
but
equivalent to him calling him nigger.
it's not just from that one tweet though. It's his. I'm telling you, it's his
All you're
history.
doing is furthering the narrative. Is the narrative
Of
that look,
what?
the media has tried to portray this. Look, I'm no defender of Trump either. But
Right.
here's the thing about when it comes to racism, it's hard to read intent. Again, just like Wale said earlier,
Right.
It's
Intent.
all about reading that person's intent at that given time. And I think my
But you also have to read their history, though.
But my problem is we take all these comments, right? And we will admit that making a racist remark doesn't necessarily make you racist, right?
Well,
We would
yeah,
agree to
true.
that. Because
Sometimes it's naive. You're naive.
Yeah, it's
yes,
ignorance.
sometimes
right,
it's ignorance.
Right.
And I think what happens is what we do is we go and we look through history at all the different racist statements people have made over the years, and we compile it and we try to frame this narrative and to use that to justify calling them a racist. Meaning we're trying to say, okay, because they've said these things.
But if you continue
Then
saying
that means-
the things,
then
you're
that means-
correct. If you say one thing, okay. But if you keep repeating the same
So
behavior
you're
over and
you're
over,
saying because you might have made some remarks in the past, right? Then that
and you know better,
then that precludes you from even touching any topic that has to do with blacks.
That's not true.
That's what it
Who
means.
said that?
Look, this is no way to
That's
have
not-
discourse.
Nobody said
This
that,
is no-
Corey.
We cannot
I'm
keep
talking
throwing
about, listen,
the race
no,
card out there.
I'm talking about, in this case, Trump. Let's focus on Trump.
I'm not about to start this Trump
No,
bashing thing.
No,
Trump
but-
bashing.
but
He
that's
bashes
why-
himself
I'm not-
anyway.
But
We're not
that's why
bashing
I
Trump.
brought up the you're
What?
saying in this case Trump, but that's why I brought up the Bobrisky thing. Have I ever said anything negative about transgender? But you already assumed that I can never have anything great to say about
Because
it
you are a
because I'm
typical
a typical
Naija guy.
Nigerian man. That in all fairness, like
You know what I'm saying?
for someone who is promoting equality, that is one-sided, and
How's that
that's not.
one-sided?
It is one-sided because you
I'm
already have
basing
an
everything on my
It's-
experience. I'm
Experience
around
with who?
Nigerian men
Not
all
with
the
me.
time.
Not
Well,
with me.
True. Okay, that's
So
fair.
now we're
Sorry
saying
to
intent.
make an
No, but now we're
assumption
saying
about you.
intent.
You're right.
So it means if any
Can
white
you
guy
let me
calls
finish?
a black guy dumb,
You're right. But in that case,
okay, so
yes, I'm
she
agreeing
apologized. So Wale won 80-0.
about.
Let's move on.
But moving on back to the dumb thing, put everything together. You guys are trying to not look at the whole
I'm
picture.
no detective.
What?
I'm not trying to.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
trying
you
to
are.
read-
Do
I'm
we
not
agree
detective.
Trump is racist? Yes.
Yes.
Do we agree?
I don't know. I don't know if he's
You
racist.
don't know.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't know.
Using dumb
I
as in a
don't. I
racial
don't
way,
know.
I don't agree. I
Okay,
I've
Corey,
not
you
seen
don't know
enough
that Corey is
evidence.
I
Trump
do
is
not
dumb.
know.
All
I
right.
do not know.
All right,
I'm
you
not.
don't know.
I'm not. I'm
Now
not.
you're purposely
I'm not.
doing-
I'm
oh,
not.
you're
I'm not
purposely
here about
being-
to make. I'm about to make. Because to call someone a racist, that's a very serious charge.
Yes.
That means I personally think that person thinks he is superior
Yes.
to me because of my race. Look,
Trump, but Trump has examples.
At the end of
all
the
the
day-
things he's done, the birther movement, the Central Park.
does he
Five.
have biases? Does he show bigoted? Does he show
okay.
bigoted actions? Of course.
So you just jumping and moving, but okay, sure, Corey, whatever makes you feel better. I guess.
But there's so
Sure.
many of us, even as black people, that a lot of black people that we show a lot of bigoted stances
Yes,
now.
yeah,
you know what
duh.
I'm saying? So
Of course.
why would I?
Nobody-
so why would
everybody
I-
is
so
like
why
that.
would I put Trump's bigotism on a
bigotry?
sorry. Why would I put Trump's bigotry on a pedestal and
Because
make it out to be?
his examples, I keep saying the same thing over and over. All of that proves to me that he's racist. I'm sorry. He's the only one out of all the president that's ever been. He brought up Obama's birth certificate. Really? That doesn't show you anything. But anyway,
It
moving
doesn't
on.
show me a damn thing.
Okay.
I'm not here to be reading into
Right,
people's
you're Ray
minds.
Charles to the movement.
I'm
I
not
guess.
here
But
to
anyway,
be-
next topic, please.
Okay, manspreading. So wait, Yeti, am I offending you right now? Should I should I turn away? Manspreading, Yeti. Yo, so we have this group chat, right? That we're all in, and we had this argument about manspreading, and Yeti actually does believe it's a real thing. Am I
Okay.
lying?
You're not lying.
So you
But-
you agree that manspreading. Oh, by the way, for those who don't know, manspreading is the
It's just a new
Is
term
the-
for a thing that's always been men
it's-
sitting
it's
with
the
their legs
act-
spread open.
It's
That's
the act
all.
of men sitting with their legs spread open.
Right.
Right?
Men sitting comfortably. That's what it
Comfortably.
is.
Because we happen to have
So,
these things
as in,
called
in between,
scrotum
I know.
sacks
Okay.
between
So
our
because
legs.
I don't cross
Right?
my leg now is a problem.
And there's this campaign going on about, basically manspreading is a form of, they call it microaggression. This is the thing, guys. This is the America we live in today. And they consider it a microaggression.
You know what you're sounding like right now? Those white people that complain about the racist things that's been going on in America.
Look,
But okay, go
I'm
ahead.
just being me. I'm not trying to
Alright.
sound like anybody.
But that's what
I'm
you
just,
sound like. I'm just telling you.
I don't.
But go ahead.
It doesn't matter what you think I
Okay.
sound like.
Alright.
I'm gonna tell you exactly how I see it.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
And they call it this thing called microaggression, meaning when a man spreads his legs around a woman, right?
That's not what it means, but okay. It's when we're sitting. You're
Corey,
please. It's when we're in a public space and we're sharing a seat together, and you push your legs and encroach on my space and pushing me to the side. That's what manspreading is. End of story. That's what it is. It's not, you can sit whatever you want in your chair if it's a single sanitary chair by yourself, sure. But when we're sharing
That's
a
not
chair,
how a lot of people
that's what manspreading
it.
is. Correct.
Let's
Go look it up.
Let's even say that's
What?
the definition. I
That's
still
what
think,
manspreading is.
First of all, I still think that's very stupid.
What's stupid about it?
Because first of all, it doesn't have anything to do with being a man. Number one, number two. So
What?
it's the
Right.
equivalent to me and you being on a chair and we're sharing an armrest and you are your arm.
Yeah,
is,
same
so
thing.
do I say that's woman
Spreading,
elbowing,
whatever.
or
But
whatever?
just- but
Nah,
you guys,
there's
you guys-
no. We should
you
just
guys
call
are
it. Hey, can you
focusing-
stop not being
Okay.
making life
Being
uncomfortable
an
for people
ass,
next?
exactly.
Not being an ass. Some people just don't. Hey, guy,
They're
alpha,
not being
make
considerate
it,
of people. That's
be
all it is.
considerate regardless of your gender
That's it.
or
Okay.
your.
So you're focusing on the name, basically, is what you're doing.
Are you
been
not the
a
same
thing.
people that have come out to say we shouldn't call you female? So yes, I'm saying don't call anybody
all right,
manspreading.
Okay, whatever. But
You
the
can't
thing
pick and
is,
choose.
funny thing is, Helen
If
Mirren,
somebody calls something woman something, oh my god, Twitter will shut down.
but there
the
are
life will
women
shut
still,
down.
so-
You already know.
I won't be able to talk.
already
Every
know.
statement I've made, you can't call them that. You can't say
they're
that.
trying to
You
gag
can't
us.
do
They're
that.
not
So
gonna gag me,
they're
Sha.
not- yeah,
No one is gonna
don't call
gag
it
me.
manspreading. It is
Just
it is
go
not
out
nice.
on your job and say something that's gonna get you fired. That's
Say
all.
to
But
people,
alright.
say to people, hey, make life considerate for those next to you. You
Right,
know,
okay.
with how you
Yeah,
say that,
it
everything
is.
you do, how
I
you
agree
style,
with
all
that.
stuff.
I agree with that.
Do that,
So what's
but
upsetting you
don't-
is the word they use
Yeah,
to describe
and then
it.
the way they
Because you
define
know
it.
that this thing
Because
has been a thing since
you make
beginning
it
of
seem
time,
like
right?
I wake up, I come out, I'm sitting, I'm like, you know what?
They're trying
today,
to make
wait, that's the woman sitting there. This girl go here what today? I go man spread that. She didn't your fat down. Buy. Oh yeah. Try something for it here, man. That's how you're making it seem.
But some
now.
people do that, though. You know that, right? But Wale, you know people do that.
People do that.
So then-
But you know the
Yeah,
funny
we'll
thing.
call
You know
those
the
people
funny
assholes
thing.
now. They're not-
I've actually, I love sitting.
I don't
so
cross
they
my
call
leg.
the sitting position.
Cross leg.
I actually love sitting
Cross
cross leg.
leg.
But ever since that manspreading thing came out,
So now you're purposely being
that's
an
I'm
asshole
just like
on purpose.
I'm waiting for somebody to come and tell me that I am.
But you know
I
the
am.
only-
I am being micro. I
Correct.
am being a micro aggressor towards
Correct.
her because
Correct.
I'm spreading my legs.
Correct.
What the heck?
Correct. Emelo Mokbe. But anyway, but you know that only applies on public transportation and when
I
you're
don't know.
when you're sharing. Did you even look up the definition?
I looked it up.
No, you didn't.
It's silly.
Yeah.
Practice whereby a man, especially one traveling in public transportation, adopts a sitting position with his legs wide apart in such a way to encroach on an adjacent seat or seats.
So why does it
That's
only apply
all.
to men? You're
Because
trying to tell me
that's
there
the
aren't
majority of
women
people that do it.
women
The
that are
women-
butch that
yeah,
also
they do.
spread it.
But we're I've like I said on the thread, women goes back to our socialization. We are socialized to sit and cross our legs. That's the thing. Don't make a face.
You can't
See-
assume that.
No. I said we're trained. Can I
can't
speak?
assume.
I'm
No,
speaking. Okay.
There's reasons
are you
for that
Are you a
too.
girl?
There's reasons for that too.
Because we wear skirts and dresses.
Yes,
Duh.
that too.
That's what I'm saying. We are trained.
So what do you mean we're socialized?
But it's a socialization. Duh.
So-
Everything
so
we're
why do you-
start to do is a socialization. Stop picking words. Corey, go look up words for your sake. Through your long, please. Look up what words mean
Stop
things.
turning this into a sociology lecture.
But
Like,
that's
it's
like
BS.
we're
It's
socialized.
BS.
Stop picking my words.
Everything
Corey.
we're socialized. No,
We are
These
socialized.
things come about from like the way we like. It's basically.
That's what socialization means. Duh, Corey. Please.
Calm down. Calm down.
No,
Calm
because
down.
you're getting confused.
Okay.
Words mean things.
Okay, so-
let me finish. When we're brought up from childhood to adulthood, the way we are raised is called socialization.
Okay.
That's what that means.
Okay, so
Stop picking words. We're
So,
raised.
but okay, you
Okay,
keep
is
throwing
that
out the
what's
socialization word.
We're
Well, so what
raised.
about it? So
We're-
yeah,
we're
are you saying
raised
because we
girls.
were socialized, is that a bad thing?
Who said it's a bad thing?
So then why do you keep
Why are
making,
you harping
making
on?
So why do you
Corey,
keep making a
can you
point
let me
about
finish and
about socialization?
Please,
Alright.
can you speak?
Okay.
We are raised. Okay, is that better for you? You don't want socialization. We are raised.
I just don't know what you mean by we're socialized. I
We're raised.
I don't really get it.
Corey, please look up definition of socialization.
I don't have to look it up. I get the idea, but
We're raised, we're socialized, we're brought up, same difference. We're raised to sit with our legs crossed because of what we wear. That's all. Men are not. That's it. That's why you guys are able to spread your legs more than we are.
We spread our legs because it's a lot more uncomfortable keeping
Well,
our
you
legs
just told
closed.
me you like to cross your legs. Is it uncomfortable when you cross your legs?
No.
So then,
No, there are always exceptions now. But I know a lot
Please,
of guys. That open their legs is because it's more
next.
comfortable. It's the most comfortable
you came
position.
on this thread on this podcast today to cause Wale, but go ahead.
I'm not causing any Wale.
Wale is upset with you.
I'm just not with the socialization crap. But anyway, moving on.
You're not with the raisin crap.
No,
you socialize.
what I meant.
Speaking of, how's Shango?
Shango?
Yeah. You haven't talked about him in a while. What's going on with him?
So, Bruno, Bruno, the little dog, right? He took a break from the house.
Oh, thank God.
He came across another dog.
Bruno?
I think he was with a babysitter or something. And there was another dog there, Labrador, and he tried it with that Labrador. And so Bruno came back. He had some scars on his face. It looked like he had sobered up a little bit. Like
so he messed with the wrong one.
He messed with the wrong one.
Why is Bruno such a bully? Whose dog is it again?
It's my niece's dog.
Because you guys didn't socialize Bruno well enough to behave in public.
You got jokes.
Because that's what
socialization
means. Corey, stop picking socialized. That's what the word means. Stop it. Okay. You're getting me upset for no reason. Socialized means things. Words mean things.
Blake Griffin.
What about him?
Wale, you heard about this, right?
So Corey is just picking all the controversial Twitter topics today, but sure, go ahead.
No, so he was instructed to pay about $3 million a year for his baby.
Okay, he can afford it. What's
child
the point?
support.
Okay.
How do you know?
Yeti, do you think there should be a cap?
I don't think it's based on income.
Wait, but why do you know you can afford it?
It's based on income. That's what do you know how they
But 3 million. Wait.
Let me speak, please. You know how they come to the child support amount for each person?
How? There's like a percentage, right?
It's based on your income and the standard the child is used to living by, right? Okay. So if you make $50,000 a year, you're not paying $50,000. Sorry, you're paying like $30 a month or something like that. It's based on your income. That's it. So all your people, you'll be all right. You're not gonna be paying $300,000 for your kid.
I think there should be a cap to it though, because I don't know what a newborn baby is gonna do with $3 million.
But he's not newborn. He's like 8 or so now.
Oh, he's 8 years old.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's not brand new.
But still, that's still a lot though. That's still a lot.
I mean, he's going to private school. He's doing all that, right?
250,000 for
a month.
What?
A month.
That's
even if the child was living with him, he wouldn't even be like living a life of $3 million a year.
The courts decided that it is, and if it was, is it because he's the guy? So if it was a woman paying that much, would you be upset about it?
This is not about woman.
No, I'm just asking.
Guy.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
We rarely see cases of women even paying child support.
Halle Berry's paying child support.
We rarely. Okay. The word I use was
yes.
Well, it's based on income. Whoever has custody. If you want, I'm sorry. But it's based on her income though. It's whatever income she's making.
You don't think Halle Berry got more than?
I don't think so. What? Halle Berry doesn't have that much money compared to Blake Griffin. He just signed a contract. That's why it was renegotiated, right? Because of his contract.
Anyways,
yeah.
I think we should.
I think we're due for a music break.
Yeah.
So, Wale, take us in.
Yeah. Man, it's been a very hectic.
Thanks to Corey.
Thanks to two of you. You played your part. But yeah, we're about to break it up. This is a new song by Runtown. He's finally free from his label.
Oh, he is? Good for him.
So
that's why we haven't heard from him this whole time.
Yeah, I think they had like some dispute. So this is his first song. Don't quote me on that, but this is a new song. It's called Unleash, by Runtown featuring some guy called Fekky. I haven't heard of him before, but anyway, listen and enjoy.
Champagne cupping in the diamond bright. Wine, baby girl, just wine. See this up can kill everything inside. It's cool, baby girl, take time. Champagne cupping in the diamond bright. Wine, baby girl, just wine. See this up can kill everything inside. It's cool, baby girl, take time.
We spoil, we know the thief. We get him on the police. Tonight we gonna unleash. Smoking on the low low, counting on my low. Yeah, baby, me buy me no. They try put the X on me, they bring out the best out me. Now I'm gonna flex on you. Too many bags on me, too many girls on me. Now I'm gonna flex on you. Too many women in my life, I don't really know what they want from me. Don't know if they love me or my money. Yeah. Too many men who is that on me. Say nowadays all eyes on me. So many things my eyes don't see. Well, but that's why me I love Vanessa. Vanessa don't they give her hello. See Vanessa, na fire dancer. Yeah, she tell me master, master, can you do it faster? That's why me I love Vanessa. See Vanessa, no they cause the drama. What's boy, we know the thief. We get the money, got police. Tonight we gonna unleash. Smoking on the low low, counting on my low. Yeah, baby, me buy me no. They try put the X on me, they bring out the best out me. Now I'm gonna flex on you. Too many bags on me, too many girls on me. Now I'm gonna flex on you.
Hey, yo, I just wanna live life and flex. Let me just shine, no stress. Gal to the right and the left, body just look like sex. You can change my life in a sec. Hey, I don't know how you dealt with your ex. Show some respect, big F, let me pick up the check. Enough gal stay on my head, cash on deck. Smile, baby girl, don't vex.
Don't be so insecure, girl. Girl, them just be my Insta. Why do you take it out on me? Hey, should be you want to lifestyle. I keep it cool, don't act wild. And still you don't put your trust in me. I don't know.
Too many women in my life, I don't really know what they want from me. Don't know if they love me or my money. Yeah. Too many men who is that on me. Say nowadays all eyes on me. So many things my eyes don't see. But that's why me I love Vanessa. Vanessa, don't they give her hello. See Vanessa, na fire dancer. Yeah, she tell me master, master, can you do it faster? That's why me I love Vanessa. See Vanessa, no they cause the drama. They try put the X on me, they bring out the best out me. Now I'm gonna flex on you. Too many bags on me, too many girls on me. Now I'm gonna flex on you. Try put the X on me.
Before we go further, I just want to point out the fact that Corey's eating a whole bagel, plain, no cream cheese, no butter,
And
no honey.
it's like eating bread.
Eating bread.
It's just a weird sight.
Sorry,
to
yeah,
see.
typical Nigerian man.
Yes, that's what I am. I'm a typical Nigerian.
But
man.
bagel is even harder than bread. At least bread is a little softer.
That's
now.
what she said.
Yeah. Before we go on though, we have a guest today, so we're going to be skipping today's heroes and villains. It's coming back, by the way.
Jesus.
It is coming back.
Thank you,
But we
Jesus.
have a special guest today. I'm going to introduce him in a second. But before I do, Yeti would like to issue a retraction from a statement she made a few weeks ago.
First of all, this is definition of I too no go wrong.
No. It's not an I2 no go
ITK.
no. And Power, as far as I'm concerned, was a power company. Okay. But I didn't know. I don't know a lot about Nigeria politics and what's going on in Nigeria.
Fair.
So I thought about what Empower means to me when I looked it up. Is what I said. But apparently, Empower also means what?
It's like a group in Nigeria. They're supposed to empower the youth, and they're supposed to
empower. Why didn't they just say that?
They did. And power.
No.
It's a government.
Oh,
it's
we have the guest caller.
Oh yeah, that's our guest. Wait, Larry, before you go on, let me introduce you really quickly. So Larry is a very good friend of mine. I've known him since high school. I've known him since GSS1 actually. Brief introduction.
You went to ISI?
Yeah, he went to ISI.
That's
He
cool.
was my set.
The old people.
Larry is an MD here, based in the U.S.
Oh,
He's
so Dr. Larry. basically.
yes, Dr. Larry. He currently resides in the Charlotte area. Is that correct, Larry? Please, Larry, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
He's a multilingual, fluent in English and Yoruba, and is intermediate in Spanish. By the way, I'm reading Larry's profile right now on this website. I know the intermediate in Spanish is you probably know like
Hola,
2 words.
¿cómo está?
This guy knows like, and you guys talk about I'm intermediate in
You
Spanish.
gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
In his spare time, Dr. Jimoh likes to play soccer, golf, surf, lie. He said he likes to surf. I know Larry is nowhere near the beach.
There's no beach in Ibadan. Growing up, so
He likes to ski.
Oh, wow.
He likes to ski.
I mean, he could have taken it up when he got here. Now.
I'm sure. But Larry is a bullshitter, yo. And of course, he travels internationally a lot. I consider one of my really, really good friends. He's and I see him as Larry is someone that I've seen as like could be a potential president of Nigeria.
Oh,
wow. This is someone
Okay.
that just in terms of his knowledge base, this is someone that actually back when he was like in GSS1, he wrote a book about
What?
Nigerian presidents, like historically.
Nice.
Like he's
Okay.
been a geek like that for a very long time.
That's a good thing. That's
Yeah.
a great thing.
He's very, very steeped in Nigerian history. Of course, we disagree on a lot of things. But that's part of why I brought him here today. Because I was hoping to get a breakdown of Nigeria's current political landscape. So Larry, feel free to chime in, please.
Yes, sir.
So, explain to me what the Empower thing is again.
Sure. First of all, I want to thank you guys for having me on your show. I'm a big fan since inception. So more power to you guys. Yeti, Wale, Mr. G. You guys are
Hey, let them know, man.
Let me just put in there. For sure.
Hi, Dr. Larry.
Corey, thanks for tearing up my profile on the website. I do surf and I do ski. I enjoy those two activities, and yes, I picked them up since I moved to the US.
Good for you. That's
Corey,
more
when did
than
we
Corey
come?
can
Like
say.
2002?
Exactly.
Yeah, we came here 16 years ago. That's enough
Yeah,
time to pick up
no,
new
you got here
hobbies.
before
Yeah.
me. You got here 02, and I think you
Yeah.
left as soon as you got out of ISI. I came like the year after.
Okay, but he can do a lot more than you
okay.
can right now. He can ski, he can surf.
Yeah, whatever.
That's why you hate on him.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention also medical education, Duke University School of Medicine.
wow. All right.
His residency, he got it from internal medicine, Vanderbilt University.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
His fellowship, gastroenterology,
Gastroenterologist. Okay. all
Brown
right.
University.
Hey, Dr. Larry.
Brown University.
All right.
And sorry, ladies, he's married. 2 kids.
Good for you.
2 kids, boy and a
Dr.
girl.
Larry.
You know.
Thank you very much for completing the picture.
In case they were wondering.
So yeah, let's go to Empower. Empower is it's a government-sponsored entrepreneurship program directed towards the youth. It was an initiative of Buhari and Osinbajo, and Osinbajo has really been running it. And what they try to do is help young people start up their companies, start up their businesses, give them very low interest loans. Some of them get grants outrightly to fund and start. So it's empowered maybe about 3,000 entrepreneurs all over Nigeria in the past 3 years. So it's actually had some success. So that's what Empower is.
Oh, wow. That's great. But how do you qualify for that? Like, as
there's a whole application process. Yeah, there's a website. You put in your business plan, you put in your information. They vet it, they interview you or whatever, and then they decide who they want to give this awards to. As far as I know, it's a whole committee basically. So
is there a reason they haven't been pushing it like that? Because
is there a reason why
they haven't really been pushing it out there? Because I actually never heard of it before, and we only see the anti-Buhari things or stuff like that.
Well, if you lived in Nigeria heard of it. If you're in Abuja, I mean, if you follow the Buhari handle on Twitter, follow Tolu Ogunlesi, who does his digital communications. They're constantly tweeting and talking about it. But you're right, they could do a little bit more, noise making about it. But it's a small part of all of the things that the president has been trying to do.
Okay,
so
that's great.
So basically, full disclosure, I'm not a card-carrying member of any political party.
Okay.
Are you a fan of Buhari?
Am I a fan? I was in 2015. For sure. I thought he was a better candidate than Jonathan.
Same here.
But the past
the
4
lesser
years,
of evils,
I'm sorry?
I said, in a way, he was like the lesser of two evils, in a way.
Exactly. I mean, at that time, like, we were being robbed by Devani and all these people. I mean, they were stealing like crazy, and we just had to stop that. But in the past 3.5 years, I feel like there's been a little bit of disillusioning, and I'm feeling a little jaded because the anti-corruption war, I think, has been very ineffective and selective. Basically, if you are, with the APC, they cover you up. The minute you leave the party, they go after you. It's not the right way to fight corruption. And so that, to me, is sort of the biggest letdown from this president. So I guess we'll just talk about the current election
and the current landscape and I want to understand, because I feel like right now in Nigeria there's this one candidate, potential candidate that's emerging. He hasn't declared yet, Saraki. I feel like he's making all the moves. I'm seeing this growing movement behind him, which is a little bit disturbing, because it's like Saraki is in
all the stuff that's been going on with him, right?
No, he's not the same.
But there are people that are
pushing him.
They are behind him. Like, there are people, I see them, supporters of him.
Effective or active compared to Buhari, that has been quite.
But didn't he just have a lot of controversy around? Like, there was a bunch of scandal and
stuff.
Had controversy. And he's
so
still going on.
Do you think PDP would let him run instead of Atiku?
I think he's going to give Atiku a good fight.
Okay.
I think he may get the nod over Atiku, and that would mean Atiku would basically go to another party, and will probably split the PDP loyalty. So I think one of my reset tweets was about how APC is sort of sweeping all these people out. And I'm not sure if the PDP umbrella is large enough for all these defectors. So everybody's going to the PDP right now. Yeah. But what I see happening is there will be further fragmentation of the PDP, because I don't see all these people agreeing and coming together. There's just too many strong personalities now under the PDP. So I think there's still so much more defection and changes that are going to happen. I don't think we're done yet.
Okay. With the recent thing that happened in the National Assembly, right? Can you kind of take us through that? This Daura fella, who used to be
last week.
DSS.
Yeah, last week was mad, man. Last week was mad. I don't know if you guys followed.
I followed.
Basically,
that one. Yeah.
I haven't. So for me, please explain what happened.
So the sequence of events, I think, started after the new APC chairman was elected. So I don't know if you guys remember Adams Oshiomhole, former governor of Edo State, became the APC chairman. When he became the APC chairman, his first sort of call was like, look, Buhari is going to be our candidate. Buhari is going to choose his running mate. Basically, he empowered Buhari so much that so many people in the APC at that time, including Saraki, were feeling like they were being discounted.
Okay.
And so we saw a defection of a lot of senators.
There was about 16. Are you talking about before the 16 defectors last week?
Before the 16 defectors, we saw people like Dino,
yes.
We saw other people switch before. And so we started seeing the signs on the wall that basically Oshiomhole coming on board was going to basically be like, this is Buhari's party, basically solidifying Buhari's hold on the party.
Yeah.
And so when that first happened, and then some governors started grumbling too. And so last week we saw Tambuwal left APC, Suswam left APC. So those are the governors of Sokoto and Benue State, respectively. They left the APC. Eventually, the Senate president decided to leave APC as well. And now, Saraki is a very interesting figure. He's political enigma, basically. Because the truth is, he never really left PDP, right?
Yeah.
Like, he was a founding member of PDP. He's been there forever. The only reason he left was because he and Jonathan couldn't see eye to eye. He became Senate president mostly because PDP supported him. And then, so he basically went back to PDP.
Yeah.
And so when he did that, the president took off, left Nigeria for medical leave.
Mysteriously.
And the following day, we know he goes to London every time he sees doctors, but it was very interesting, the timing of all of these events, because this was a big deal, and ideally, I don't think the president should have left when the number 3 man just left his party. But maybe he had a plan, maybe he didn't. We don't know. All we know is that the next day, the DSS director, and the DSS is the Department of Secret Services, so similar to FBI in this country, they have a lot of autonomy.
Yeah.
So they basically moved into the premises of the House of
DSS in a sense would be like the Pompeo.
FBI. So that would be
FBI.
Ray,
Okay.
FBI. Yeah.
Okay.
No, not Secretary of State. No.
I forgot. Sorry, Pompeo has moved to Secretary of State, but Pompeo was CIA director.
He was director of CIA. Correct.
Okay, so it'll be like the Rod Rosenstein, Rosenstein, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Go on.
So basically, this guy decided to move in, and while he was there, his voice prevented the APC senators from entering the premises.
Sorry. So he was inside the NAS?
NAS, yes. His voice was there. He didn't go. Director now. He didn't go physically.
Okay.
His voice basically barricaded the whole place.
Okay.
So you had people like PDP senators like Mure Bruce, Dino Melaye, basically putting it on Facebook Live that, hey, we are activists. They are disenfranchising us. They are trying to.
Bruce. I can't stand Bruce. Also, I think he's a showman.
I know. Anyway, so these guys were making a big show of it. That, hey, your president is like a military man. He's trying to obstruct democracy or whatever. So basically, the APC Senate, for what we understand, the plan was for the APC senators to be selectively let into the chambers, and if they can form a quorum, they can impeach the Senate president, because the Senate president just left the party. Now, unfortunately, they weren't even able to get enough APC senators in the building, so the whole thing became like a failed coup on Saraki.
And there's no way Buhari wouldn't have known this was about to go on. This is his freaking FBI director here, right? I mean, there's no way he wouldn't have known that this was.
Well, at least I know for sure Oshiomhole will have known about it.
For sure.
So basically, all of this is left to speculation, because, as you know, the DSS is very tight. They're secret keepers, anyways. But all I'll tell you is that Daura is a Katsina man, same place as the president. He was selected by the president, and he's very loyal to the president. So did he do this behind the president, or did he do this to impress the president when the president got back? Nobody knows. But what we hear is that the APC leadership knew about it, and that's Oshiomhole.
So with the VP, I forgot his name, Osibanjo, with him firing the DSS guy, is that just for show, do you think, or he really was fired?
No, the guy is fired.
Okay.
The guy is fired. The question is, was he scapegoated?
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a better.
Somebody had to take a fall,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because the Twitterverse was like going off. People were like posting stuff and like tagging Osinbajo personally, like, "Hey, Osinbajo, you are the acting president. This is happening in your country. This is not democratic. This is not okay. You got to do something about it." And I think Osinbajo at that moment felt pressured. He's like, "Look, the goal of this nonsense was to impeach Saraki. The goal failed. So definitely now there is blowback. It's either we basically fire this guy, let him take the fall, or the president and I will suffer." So basically somebody had to suffer. Somebody had to go. So we don't know if this was like Osinbajo was really angry and didn't know about it, and it's like, this is crazy. Because that's a statement he put out. It's like, this is not okay. We will make sure that people who did this are brought to justice. Like, he came down hard, and he's like, I have fired this guy, blah, blah. So Osinbajo basically saved the day for the president.
Got it.
Wow.
That might have been the plan,
So,
too, the backup plan.
Yeah. So it was very interesting.
Because it'd be hard if the president himself had fired the guy.
Yeah, it would have.
So
Wait, so let me ask you something. So what do you think about the presidential aspirants? Like, let's. I want to kind of focus on maybe 2-3 of them that we definitely want to keep our eyes out for.
So I've compiled a list of, I think, 5 people here.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
And I think we'll try to go through them quickly. I'm going to start with the least unlikely,
Okay.
which is Fela Durotoye.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have heard of that guy.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Do you know who
the.
Fela is?
Yeah, I do.
I don't, but go ahead.
Oh, but-
He's
but
like
you
the
get-
business
you
guy,
know.
right? He's like a business dude, right? He's supposed to be like
He's
a young up and coming
How old is he?
businessman.
What's
46
young?
years old.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
47, 46,
Oh,
47.
Okay.
He's a
Isn't
financial
he
analyst,
educated?
turned
Like
motivational speaker.
he studied here, right? In the States.
Yeah, he studied all over the place. Issa, he did some courses at Harvard, did some courses in London as well. He's well educated, he's very well spoken. He's an orator. If you watch his YouTube videos, you will be tempted to believe that this guy is going to save Nigeria. He can speak, but the question is, can he do?
Okay.
He's a Yoruba man, obviously. Fela Durotoye, Ife, indigene, is from our state.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ife people.
Yeah, okay.
Let me stop. Go ahead.
Yeah, see? So he's a young man, like I said.
Apparently, he
He's
was
very
also
popular
behind
in
the
Lagos.
Mushi Makeover project. I'm not sure what that is. I'm reading his profile
Yeah.
here. So that I guess that must have been a big
so-
deal for them to have put it here.
He basically became like a community organizer
Okay.
back in the early 2000s. Did some work in Lagos, sort of beautifying and redeveloping areas that were derelict, like Mushin,
Yeah.
Oshodi, and all that stuff. He's worked with different celebrities, governors. So he's a known entity in Lagos. But the
Got
thing
it.
is that outside Lagos, people don't know who he is.
Okay.
So just for record keeping, I want to give you his Twitter followership.
Okay.
Even though elections are not won on Twitter, I
Yes.
think Twitter followership gives you a measure
It does.
of their name recognition and their tech savviness, basically.
Right.
So he has 290,000 followers on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's keep that on. So that's Fela Durotoye. He currently has his party is Alliance for New Nigeria, which nobody really knows.
Alliance for
But that's
New
the party
Nigeria.
platform he's on.
Alright. I mean, even if he
That's
doesn't,
Fela.
even if
Fela
he
is-
doesing get through now, he's still someone to still look out for in upcoming
Future,
elections.
right.
So,
And he's still young, so he
Yeah.
has time.
You're right. Those are all very valid points. My problem with him is that he has to do something. Like, Nigeria is not America where you can go. In fact, even Barack Obama, right? He went from community organizer. Which
I
is
was just
similar
going
to
to
what
say
Fela
that.
is
I
doing,
was just going to say that.
Yeah.
to
That's
being a senator.
Senator.
right.
Actually,
He was a
went
state
two steps.
senator.
First,
Yeah,
he
he was a
senator
state
from
senator.
Chicago,
Yeah,
Right,
state
right.
senator.
right?
And then became
Before he became senator
United States
in the
senator.
U.S.
So you
Senate,
think he should run
right?
for a lower
Before he became
post
president.
first?
So you think
Fela
he
has
needs
to
to...
do something.
Right.
I think it's a big jump from you saying you've done some things in Lagos community to now being president. It's a big jump.
So you need to start
he can
small.
speak.
Okay.
But can
Okay.
Yeah, but question is, can he do? Can he show us what he has done?
So who's next on the
You
list?
know, that's the thing. Next on the list is Yele Sowore.
Ah, that's my boy. That's my boy. That's the radical. That's the radical. I am rooting for him, man. But yeah, go on.
Oh my goodness! I knew Corey would like this guy. This guy is a controversial figure in my book.
He wears. You know, he wears.
Isn't that the?
He
He wears
wears
this
this
polo.
He
No,
wears
isn't
this.
that the Sahara?
Yeah,
guy?
Sahara Reporters director. He wears this
Sahara Reporters
necklace, and he keeps it on. Like it's like it looks like a T'Challa necklace, you know. So, but go on.
It's yeah. So he wears this this sort of thing
Beads,
that has
right?
like cowries,
Cowries.
and
Yeah,
horns.
cowries.
Very similar to what the Maasai men wear.
Oh.
East African people. People have different speculations whether it's like jazz or something. I don't really know. I wouldn't say that.
Nigerians.
I don't say.
And they were after
But he
him for a
wears it.
while.
He wears it all the time. Anyways,
I mean-
Yele Sowore is an interesting guy. He's also 47 years old
Oh, okay.
from
He's
Ondo
young, too.
State.
Hey,
Yele started.
shout out.
Hey, shout out to Ondo State. All right. So Yele Sowore started his activism back in Unilag in the early 90s. He was president of the student union government there. And he was very big on the whole anti-cultism movement. And also being president of the student union in Unilag gives you a lot of exposure to a lot of powerful people. So he really capitalized on all of that and sort of fought against military rule as well. He came to the U.S. in the early 2000s, started this Sahara Reporters thing that has really grown.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, kudos to him for building Sahara Reporters. He also has a master's in public administration from Columbia University, so he's gotten even further education since coming here.
Okay.
He's a young guy. He's very radical, obviously.
Yeah.
He's basically ruffled enough feathers where people know him and sort of have a healthy fear of who he is.
Yeah, there was a
The
time that he
problem
wasn't
is
even
that-
allowed in Nigeria. Like he was, they were like
Yeah,
after
yeah,
him.
it was an exile. It was an exile because he fought the military as well. I mean, the guy, he has his props, he has his chops, he has a lot of reputation. But the problem is, I feel like activism is a great thing, and some people who are good in activism, like Wale Soyinka,
Yeah.
Daniel Falani,
They're not
they're
necessarily
good in
at governing.
activism. They suck in being politicians. They
I
just
agree.
suck at it.
I agree.
Yeah.
And so making that transition requires a lot of wisdom, a lot of compromising, a lot of political maneuvering, and I don't know if Yele Sowore has those abilities. So he's not decided on a political party yet, and that also supports my point that he can't seem to play well with others.
He's a radical.
And so
He's a rebel.
I know. So, you know, I mean, Fela ran for president before. In case you guys don't know, Fela was a radical. He ran for president. He formed his own party, but obviously
Twice. I
he
thought
didn't win,
it
but-
wasn't it Africa. Wait, what do you call it? People's Party or something like that. I forgot what Fela's
Yeah,
party was called.
it was like I don't remember the name, but I know he ran and he didn't win. So some people are better as activists, and I think Yele Sowore is one of those people.
Is he known though?
All right, so
outside
that's
of
Is he known?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Even-
known
like
to
in the north.
our generation.
Okay.
If I go to my hometown, if I go to Oshobo and I ask my grandma who is Yele Sowore, she'll say who, right? So his name means something.
Because
If you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram,
those are the
if you
votes
know
that actually
Sahara
matter.
Reporters.
Those people, you know, the masses
on the ground.
On the ground.
The masses, if you go to a random person in Oshodi and ask them who is Yele Sowore, they will not know who that is.
The job blanks.
So his Twitter followership is 51,000 followers, which to me is not very good.
Yeah, I would think he would have a whole lot more, being that he was the founder of Sahara too.
Exactly.
And Sahara has to have at least 1 million followers. So
I mean,
exactly.
It is what it is.
guess, yeah.
All right.
So,
Who's next?
anyways, that's Yele Sowore. So the next person I have on this list is Kingsley Moghalu.
Ah, yes.
Do you guys know who Kingsley is?
So
Once again, my answer is the same.
I mean, I kind of did like a precursory thing, like where I kind of went through some of the candidates before I came here. He's supposed to be a professor of practice in international business. He attended UNN. I'm reading his profile now. Former United Nations official.
You and profiles. Corey, let Mary explain.
Former CBN deputy governor.
Let him explain.
So he does have quite a lot on his resume. So go on.
That is true.
Oh, he's a former CBN. Oh, yeah, that's where I know the name from. The CBN deputy governor. Yes.
Yeah.
That was recently.
So Kingsley Moghalu is a 55-year-old man from Anambra State.
Okay.
Like Corey said, is very accomplished. His resume is impressive. He's done a lot internationally, and even within the country. He worked at the United Nations. He has a PhD in international relations from the London School of Economics. So don't be moi moi. You know what I'm saying? The guy is very smart. He knows his stuff. He was CBN deputy governor from 2009 to 2014. So that's almost 15 years in that position. So he knows the establishment. People know him very well within the government. And
he's from Anambra, though.
On the Anambra State, yes.
Yeah.
What about that?
But you know, right now we're not. We had someone from the east that just left.
True.
And you know they do that rotational thing. So that
is that always. Is that always set?
It's like an informal rule.
Oh, okay.
You know, but it's not in the constitution or anything. But go on.
So for clarification, Jonathan is from the South.
Okay. You're right. South.
It's Bayelsa,
Yeah, South.
Yes, Bayelsa, correct.
But you know, South and the East are all kind of grouped together.
Digging a deeper hole.
Shut up. Go on.
So basically, you're right, Corey. That works against him, especially because we have this unspoken rule that the residents will rotate from the north to the south. So ideally,
it should be every
Yoruba
8
man years or so. So right now, I think that will definitely work against Dr. Moghalu. His party is the Young Progressive Party. That's another thing I have on him because this party is pretty much unknown, just put together. His followership is not very strong. It's still in the elitist sort of circle. Like people who are supporting him are people like you and I who have been able to be exposed and educated and learned and active on Instagram and Twitter, but like his grassroots are still very lacking. And the party he's declared on isn't a very strong party nationally. Again, he's only got 17,000 followers on Twitter.
But he's older too, though, so he's probably not as social media savvy as the other people are. So.
Yeah, maybe that could be.
He's what, 60 something?
55.
Right? 55.
He may also have challenges connecting with the masses, being so I guess having like this pedigree. It's almost like he's elite, like really really elite. Yeah. He's probably like top 1% type elite. But go on.
So that's Kingsley. We'll see what happens with his campaign.
So
next person on my list is. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Is it the top two, right?
Top two
candidates left.
Yeah,
right?
like I think.
Yes.
Okay, so
these are
the way
I'm gonna go to Saraki now. Okay.
So you're not ranking them or anything.
He was ranking them.
He was ranking
them. You were? Okay,
yeah.
all right.
I'm ranking them based on likelihood. Before Saraki is Hassan Dankwabo, who is a PDP. He just declared last week. He's the current governor of Gombe State. He's also 55 years old, just like Dr. Moghalu. He's very, very interested, and if the PDP really wants to win, he's somebody they should put forward. He's very, very impressive in terms of, if you go try to YouTube his videos and hear him speak. He knows a lot and he has done a lot. He's 55 years old. He studied he has a PhD actually from Igbinedion University in accounting. Did some work with some accounting consultancy, worked in the CBN, became accountant general of Gombe State, became accountant general of Nigeria, and then went back and became Gombe State governor. And since being governor, he's improved the internal revenue generation of his state. He's more than doubled it. The tax base of Gombe State has increased. They've improved their infant mortality, education,
Oh, wow.
he's building
Wow.
roads. He's a very, very, very impressive governor. What he's done for his state in the Northeast, even in spite of all the Boko Haram nonsense, he's been able to keep his state on the right path. And he is.
I'm sensing a little. You like him. You can tell you like
Yeah,
him.
you can tell this is Lanre's dark horse.
That's your dude, right?
If the PDP really wants to win, I think he's somebody who is a northerner, a true northerner, and educated and a performer. And I think he can definitely eat into Buhari's.
How about scandals? Does he
And
have
that's
any scandals? Does he have any?
Zero.
See, from what he's saying, he's
somebody who's
definitely
been in
better
public
than
life that long,
Atiku. It sounds better than
zero.
Atiku and Saraki right now, from what you're saying.
So
I do
Hassan
see
Dankwabo
it.
is someone to keep an eye on in Gombe State. And he's declared for president under the PDP. So next person is Bukola Saraki, the Machiavelli, Maradona, the
Star boy.
star boy, exactly. so, so interestingly enough, Saraki is also 55 years old. So pretty much everybody you talk about is either 55
Which
or
is
47.
good.
This is a young crop of candidates,
good,
man,
yeah,
compared to like historical
ones,
candidates,
right,
where it's like we're getting 70-something-year-olds. But go on.
So Bukola Saraki is former governor of Kwara State, current Senate president, medical doctor by training, just like his father, Dr. Olushola Saraki, who was also a Senate Majority Leader in the late 70s. Saraki is, I don't know, it's hard to really put a finger on what to do about him because he's someone who has been able to survive.
Teflon
survive
Don.
all the things. Exactly, he's pretty much like that. It's hard to stop this guy.
He went against
Very
his own
ambitious.
dad.
Yep.
Can you imagine?
Yep.
That's true.
He went against his own
true.
dad. Yo, he's
That's
cutthroat.
true.
He's cutthroat. He's
I
cutthroat.
think that's why people like him.
So, yeah. I mean, you can only maneuver so many people until you maneuver yourself.
That's
the
true.
thing.
That's
Is that
true.
he's been able to dribble his way around and survive and scheme.
But he
and
stepped on a
show
lot of
that
toes too.
he knows what he's doing. But being Nigerian president is going
There's
to
a
be
lot.
the next hurdle for him. But he has what it takes to win the PDP ticket.
Okay.
So the question is,
And he has the money too. It
Oh
seems.
yeah, Buhari. I mean, Saraki
With
is
the
rich.
way,
Saraki
unfortunately, with the
has
way
silly money.
Buhari is doing, Saraki might beat Buhari because he seems to be the voice of Nigeria right now. Because Buhari keeps quiet a lot, and Saraki seems like to be the one. Like he's the one who came up with the whole what's that thing? Reform the police. Let's states. What's that thing when you make it a states?
Decentralize
the police.
the
yes.
police force, right?
You know, and it seems like he has Nigeria in mind, but I guess, like you say, he's slippery. There's something about him.
Oh, but we have to talk about his history with the Kwara State government
Yes,
too. I
that's-
mean, he pretty much. I mean, let's keep it real. He pretty much bankrupted their central bank, right?
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
the thing I'm seeing from a lot of young followers on Twitter, is
At least
they don't
allegedly,
know this.
allegedly,
They
let me
don't know
put it out
about all
there.
this negativity too. They're only seeing the.
How don't they know? It's always on the news.
No,
though.
people don't follow things. Some of these people
Even
don't
I
follow these
know
things
that.
like this now. Because there are a lot of people that. Why would you be a fan of Sarah? It's the same way I'm like, why are you a fan of Atiku? But a lot of people
So
out there.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about those two men.
Yeah.
Saraki and Atiku have excellent consultants working for them.
Oh, I see.
Excellent. And I know some of the people who work for them. Like, they are smart kids who studied abroad, some in Lagos. They know how to use social media. They know how to launder your reputation. They go out and look for negative articles and they find a way to take it down
Yep.
or
Wow.
to bring it lower on the Google search list.
I
They
see.
know how to
Wow.
push him. Saraki has influencers working for him round the clock. I know some of them personally. They are on a retainer. Their job is to retweet
Wow.
and post and do. So there is a way to maneuver social media. And
They're
these guys
it's
have
basically
learned
playing
how to
playing the
social
crowd.
media
man.
They
person that
know
won't
how
play.
to
Yeah,
get
but
into
isn't
your, they
Bankole
know how to use
he's-
analytics.
It's a
They have
different thing now.
companies working for them.
He is.
Oh, so that's I see. That makes sense now.
You talk about Bankole Omishere, right? Is that what you just talked about, Chris?
He's one of ours over here from Maryland.
Banky's been working for Banky's working for Asaraki now for what 7-8 years now.
Yeah.
Banky is a lawyer, sir. And so when someone like
You
that
will always
is
see
working
me in
with
these
Asaraki,
pictures
you
on the
know-
side, just standing there.
Exactly. And one other thing you need to know about Saraki is that not since Babangida have we seen a politician where people who are loyal to them will take a bullet for them.
Wow.
Not since Babangida have I seen any politician like that.
Wow.
He commands
Like Dino
them.
Melai would literally take a bullet for Saraki, and everybody knows that.
Wow.
Nobody
Okay.
knows why, but if you're a Saraki loyalist, it's pretty much till you die, man. They
He's a
never
strong
switch.
man, it seems.
And that
He is. He has a
and
presence
that,
too. About
That is
him.
why the coup was unsuccessful, because even within the APC,
People
some
still
of these
loyal
APC
to him.
senators, even though they are still staying in APC, some of them are loyal to Saraki, and they are being told to stay in APC and not move. That way, he still has information. So the problem with APC now, they don't know who is loyal to whom anymore.
Wow.
They're looking at each other,
I think-
and they're all suspecting each other.
Oshomole is trying to weed them out, the rest of them out.
Exactly.
Yeah, he
Exactly.
is. I saw
It's
him say
hard.
something
Like
about. He's
Sarah-
trying to do
It's
it
like
hard.
Saraki is playing like a
Yeah,
much bigger game.
he
Like
is.
it's like Saraki is playing chess
He
out
is.
here. The
Now-
op is
My
busy playing
my thing
checkers.
is, can Saraki win the North? Because the Northern votes are a lot of
That's
votes.
the thing. I don't think.
Curry, we talked about that,
Yeah,
right?
we talked about it. Yeah, please highlight the
Yeah.
fact that he doesn't really have a huge base. Right.
So the problem is this. His father sort of created this problem. If you guys go back to Nigeria in the 60s, we had 3 regions. Northern region, Western region, the Eastern region. That was it. Kwara State was part of the Western region. When they decided to break the country further and have this new 6 geopolitical zones, Olushola Saraki, Bukala's father, was the pretty much main man for Kwara. He basically had Kwara in his hands. And he never aligned with the Awolowo group.
Wow.
He refused to be subjugate to Awolowo. And because in Kwara is sort of an interesting place. I've been to Kwara a few times, Ilorin particularly. If you look at Ilorin has an emir.
Yeah.
So Ilorin is an emirate, right?
Huh.
Now, the
Interesting.
bad
Never
thing
thought
is
about it
that
like that before.
historically, Ilorin had a king, had an Oba.
Okay.
But the Uthman Danfodio jihad that swept from North Africa into the Hausa land, they stopped at Ilorin. Ilorin was basically the last town they took over on their
So
jihad down
that's why
south.
they're split, like Yoruba some places, and then I guess what's the other, like Hausa or Igbira, whatever, right, on the other side. So
There's Nupe, there's Hausa, there's Yoruba. So my grandmother is Ofa princess, actually. Her father was king of Ofa, Olofa of Ofa.
Oh wow.
Now, she tells me a lot about the history of Kwara State and how it's like, it's a very interesting state because they have like 3 identities.
Right.
But the point I'm trying to make here is that Saraki's father basically moved the state into the north. And it became part of the north central zone.
Yeah, which is like the middle belt, right?
Which is essentially like the middle belt. Benue, Niger, Kwara, Abuja, all those states, all those areas in the north central. Now, because of that, the Saraki family has always aligned with the north. They speak fluent Hausa. They are Muslims. So sometimes they even put their Muslim name before their Yoruba name. So when Saraki ran for president in 2011, he ran as Abubakar Bukola Saraki, ABS.
Okay.
In fact, his football club is called ABS Football Club. So it's interesting to see how he's going to position himself this time. Will he put Bukola first, or will he put Abubakar first? So the problem is they are not really. So, and the thing is, the Hausas don't really see them as true Hausas.
Right.
Like people in Kano, people in Jigawa, they don't see them as, they see them as Yorubas. And we Yoruba people don't
They
see
don't see them as
we see them
Yoruba, so they're right in the middle.
So that's gonna be Saraki's biggest problem, is that he can't say he'll win the Southwest, and he can't say he'll win the North comfortably.
Well, I'm seeing a problem here. I feel like Buhari is going to win this again, because the problem I see, number one problem I see is, no, we have 3 candidates under PDP.
Yeah.
Who's going to get that? Actually, 4. We have 4.
More.
I'll just say top 4.
I just didn't mention the others.
Yeah, but you didn't also put Atiku there, so we're going to put 4.
Atiku is the next one, I guess.
So yeah, so
but you guys all know about Atiku.
Yeah, we're already
So your top 3
Those
plus
are
Atiku, that's
not
4. So but they only have 1 ticket, and who did they give it to? And it looks like the 2 people that will probably get it is one between Atiku or Saraki.
How about if Atiku and Saraki join tickets? No, how about if they join tickets?
It's not going to happen.
Who would be the
That'll
president?
Be very hard. That'll be
and
very
who
hard.
would be the vice president? Who would win out? And
What if Saraki is
No, it's not going to happen.
I don't think each of them.
Yeah,
would
they-
pick-
And I think Saraki leaving APC is kind of like he's already guaranteed.
Yeah.
He knows his guarantee. I mean, well, I guess he's trying his luck because APC wasn't going to give it to him regardless. But we have that 4, let's just say top 4 horse race. Who's going to get it? And basically, I think I forget his name. The is he Benue? Is that where you say it's from?
No, Gombe.
Which one?
The Gombe state.
Gombe,
Dankwabo.
Yeah. To be honest, he seems like he would be the ideal man.
Yeah.
Because he's a sitting governor, he's done well for his state, and he's also going to get them the northern votes.
But it's scandal free too.
And it's scandal free, but we know they're going to go for Flash, and they're going to go for either Saraki or Atiku, and I think
the money will
they
be behind
will lose
Atiku
that to Buhari, because Buhari has northern votes tied down. That guy has those.
Well, you know what? One thing I know is that I would never say never anything in Nigerian politics. There's no reason why Atiku and Saraki may not come to a compromise if they realize that
that's the only
way to
solution.
win.
That's the only solution.
So
to win, yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
But do you want a country run by Saraki and Atiku, though?
Tough question. I don't trust either. I don't trust either of them.
Same here. I believe
that they, again, I may be in the position I was in 2015, where I have to pick the lesser of 2 evils, right?
Unfortunately, the other people running, they have something I call they have a fan base with, like you said, the sophisticated, educated people. But unfortunately, Korea and I are not going to be in Nigeria to vote.
Yeah.
A lot of Europe might not be. I don't know. A lot of people who support these people are not, and they're not the same. And even if they are in Nigeria, they're not the people that want to go and stay in line and stand 8 hours to vote for one person. So these people end up losing a lot of votes.
You said Korea and I.
But you know
Why
what?
didn't you include me in that?
You vote in Nigeria.
but you know what? But you know what works a lot. They call it. They call it. I think they call it stomach stimulus or something like that, where they
stomach infrastructure.
Stomach infrastructure.
That
works a lot. They do that a lot.
Fire has not declared yet.
Yes, and that's another candidate that's going to be. But Fire can't declare because once he's out of office,
of the group.
he has to
I'm waiting for it.
He's going to need to, because once he's out of office officially in like a few weeks, APC is coming for him.
Wait, but can I ask you something?
Yes.
So what do you think about? So what do you think about this recent alliance with Tinubu and the Redeemed Church? Let's call it what it is. They made like a whole big deal about it.
But isn't Oshibanjo already
he is
Redeemed
He's
affiliated anyway?
He's a
right.
pastor in
So
Nigeria.
No, but I'm talking about Tinubu.
I know.
So
we already have
Corey,
vice president.
That's a great segue, because nobody knows what Tinubu is going to do. Tinubu has not really come out to support anybody yet, and everybody knows he wants to be Nigeria's president. So in the realm of possibilities, there is an infinitesimal chance that Buhari may not get the APC ticket. So let's just keep that on the back of our mind as we wait and see.
It's going to be hard though.
It's nothing is set in stone yet.
It's going to be
It's going to be like Game of Thrones, Naija edition.
Because
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to
with the way Oshomole is doing, that thing is, I feel like it's Buhari's birthright right now. And I think he was smart for making Oshomole the chairman of APC. That guy is riding hard.
for the press.
Buhari,
gonna-
You think Buhari can win again?
if he'll get the
My only
All
thing
this
with
stuff that's
Buhari,
going on.
and I talked to Larry about this, is, and I know he hasn't. There are a lot of things that's been missing in terms of his communication, in terms of reaching out to the Nigerian people. He hasn't really been present.
Right. I was
going
going to say people are not
There are a lot
trusting
of
him
there are
right
a lot
now.
of
Right.
concerns.
It should
I heard
be.
they,
My only
try to
thing
poison
is,
him. That's
my only
what's
thing
going
is,
on.
I'm willing.
He's just an
the
old
the
fellow,
only reason
man.
why
Sick old man.
the only reason why I'm still willing to give him the benefit of the doubt is I feel maybe he's waiting till his second term to be able to
Somebody
really
did tell me
do
that.
things.
Right.
But then, again, I don't know. I can't. I can't
he's
right
not a
now. I don't have any one candidate.
Buhari's a
that I'm
military
backing.
man. He's not a politician, and he only sees things black and white. He's not a politician. He doesn't see. So he has some good ideas, like the whole train idea that I
was a
mentioned.
great idea.
You know,
Yeah.
the whole they're trying to do some
The
airports,
railway,
the
railway,
yes,
yeah, railway.
they're trying to-
So just for the record, that was started.
And I heard it started by Jonathan,
But I
yes.
do give Buhari
Yes.
props for finishing.
Yes, he
it.
finished.
I give
He's
him
finished a
props
lot
for
of
that.
Jonathan's projects that were started.
That's true. That's true.
And he's a very, that's his focus. He's been making noise about Nigerian air for so long, and some people say we don't need that, but these are the things
part of
this
it
man
now.
sees as. But unfortunately, he's not a politician. He doesn't know how to communicate with people. He doesn't know how to do anything. He doesn't know how to, and then, his fight for corruption also is not being made easy by his party, because the selective thing is not being made easy, and unfortunately, I feel he's the lesser of all the evils still that are going to run, but he's still not the man for Nigeria, which is sad.
I guess it remains to be seen. My only hope is that it doesn't turn violent, because the way things are heating up right now, I can imagine Sarah Keefe really feels like his back's against the wall right now, and he will be ready to lash out if push comes to shove. And
I don't
as the
think
Senate
he feels that way.
president.
I think he knows what he's doing.
You think so?
Yeah, that man knows what he's doing.
I guess we'll see.
Well,
Any other
it's
candidates,
really nice
Larry?
chatting with you guys.
Man, thanks so much
Thanks
for coming
for
on,
coming.
man.
I learned a lot.
Okay,
Thank
hopefully,
you.
we'll come back and follow up when things include.
Yes,
Yes,
please. You're
yes.
gonna be our political correspondent.
Thank you. You saved me.
Yeah.
From
Before
doing
you
that
go
videos.
though, let me you can follow Larry Jimoh. You can follow him on Twitter. It's at Larry Jimoh MDMBA.
Oh wow! All right, put
Larry
all
G-
your
okay,
Yeah.
Larry, I found
the
you.
letters behind
Larry
your name.
Jimoh.
Go ahead.
That's LANREJIMOH MDMBA. It sounds like a joke.
You're a Man U fan. Nice. Larry, I just followed
Yes,
you.
boss. Yes, boss.
You're going to see
Red
Wale
Devil
for
forever.
president there. That's my one. By the way, one day I do plan to run for president. Just putting it out there.
Thank you so much, guys.
You're going
Yeti, Wale.
All right, man. Larry,
Thanks for
thanks for
coming.
coming on, man.
All right,
Enjoy.
man. Thanks a lot, bro.
Nice one.
All right.
Nice one.
Okay, well, that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
good.
I
Thank
think
God, no
I
heroes
think,
and villains.
yeah, asshole. But yeah, I think that about wraps up our show. I had a bunch of other topics here. I actually had this one question though, and it's completely because it's like a test. It's a test.
Gosh.
It's a test, and the way you answer
Test.
this,
Okay.
it's a test question, and the way you answer this will say a lot about. And it's based on being in a relationship. We're all,
Ask the question.
obviously,
Abi-
we're all in
All this.
relationships
Here,
here, right?
Catch me, this guy. Ask this question.
It's a relationship
Oh
scenario.
gosh.
It's a relationship scenario, and
Okay, go ahead.
oh, wait 1 second. I'm reading it out. So take this, right? You and your significant other, right, have been busy all day. They've been busy all day, and you guys haven't kept in touch the whole day. Let's say you've been busy, she's been busy. Of course, you miss him or her. You know, you decide that you're gonna
they.
surprise him or her.
Them.
No, there's no they or them. No, please stop. You decide that you're gonna surprise him or her at night. You know, I haven't seen my guy or my girl all day. Just let me just surprise him. You get to that significant other's house, right? And you see a car in front of that significant other's house.
They live alone, I guess.
No, they don't live together. You guys live
No,
separate.
I'm saying the significant other lives
Yes,
alone. Okay.
yes. And you see your lover's car too.
Okay. So he has company.
You knock on the door. No answer. You call him or her.
No response.
No response.
Uh-huh.
Put yourself in that position.
Okay.
You don't hear from them all night. Nothing.
What I would do in that situation?
Yeah,
Assuming my
what's
partner right now.
Yes.
I have the key, so I'm just
No.
entering the house.
You don't have the key.
But I do. But okay.
So what's going through your mind, and what's your logical assumption?
I don't assume. I see. That's the thing. I don't assume a lot. In relationships, in my relationships,
okay.
I
That's
do
the one
not
place she doesn't
assume any negative intent or anything like that. I'm just gonna wait to find out. No, I'll knock on the door and keep knocking and knocking.
And you don't hear from them all night.
All night, and their cars are in the front of the house.
Yes.
Then I'm calling the cops. He must be sick or dead or something in the house.
You calling the cops?
Yes, to knock. Welfare check.
Now the police is not gonna do anything unless it's been 48 hours anyway. So.
Well, they don't. Are you sure about that?
I think you have to wait 48 hours to declare someone missing.
Welfare check, like, I haven't heard from him all day. I've been knocking, and that's unlike him.
Yes.
I'm really worried.
I guess. So my question is, would you just assume that person is cheating on you in the house? Interesting.
I won't.
Because I asked someone this, and the last person that I asked was like, "What?" They were like, "Nah, fuck it. He better have." And they were already going off.
I'll be upset because I'm worried now. What's wrong? What's going
on? So, Wale,
on?
how about you? So, like, what's your logical assumption? What's your logical assumption? If you see your significant other, 2 cars in front, they don't answer the door, they don't answer the phone.
Who's the second car?
You don't know. It's just a random car.
You find out whose car it is now.
Well, at that
how do you find out at that moment? What do you do?
What are you thinking?
Yes.
Right. When they're not answering, when they're not picking up, nothing's happening.
Somebody's going away go. That's what I'm thinking. If they're not, if they, it's tough, to be fair, because
you don't know what's going on.
It can be
anybody,
a friend,
right? A family member, a parent, anyone.
They fell asleep or something like that, or God forbid, it can be something was wrong.
And that's what I said.
So it sounds like you guys are like reasonable. Like you will assume the best,
right?
You have to, because if you don't, you're gonna for the sake of it. If it is something freaky going on, and they do know you're outside and trying to hide or something like that, sure, you will be justified if you do something
crazy.
You would be justified to your opinion, at least that yes, what I did was right. But the downside is if you're wrong, you might do something you can't reverse.
Exactly. What if it was his father or something with a new car?
That's always the problem. And also,
you never know.
There's no.
And you hadn't heard from him all day, so there was no way they could have told you.
So, depending on how you trust your significant other, you can sit inside the car and wait.
Right.
You wait outside. No.
Depending on how much you trust them.
I'll be honest with you.
Or
I think,
you find another way
my
to get
insecurities
inside.
will get the better of me at that point, because
I'll
be paranoid, and in my mind I'm thinking, okay.
Where sometimes we're trying to think the worst case scenario,
people, right.
but I'm more of pro. Don't give myself headache. So
right, and give myself peace of mind.
But
and go
also, going home will be a bad idea.
So I'm staying
because it's
in
kind
front
of
the
like
house?
Going home is kind of like, what's that thing with the cat in the box? Schrodinger's cat or something like that, where you don't know if it's dead or not.
Right.
So that's the thing.
And
going
that's what I
home,
wanted to
you
call
don't
the
know.
cops for.
You don't know if, because it's whatever they tell you tomorrow that you now have to listen
hear.
to.
Right.
And if you don't believe them,
then there's nothing you can
do.
There's nothing you
can do.
Right.
So you're always going to be thinking, is it right? But if you stayed and you saw for yourself who it was,
so let me just get your answers. Yeti, you're calling the cops. Wale, you're going to stalk her outside of her house for the rest of the night. You're not leaving because you know that if you leave, then whoever is possibly inside,
whatever they tell me,
could just leave.
Right. That'd be it.
And whatever they tell you is, you don't know. So if you're fine with listening to, which is also a possibility, I don't mind. I can, if she says, hey, this is what it was, sure, whatever. But if you know you're not going to be fine with listening to what they're saying, then stay and confirm yourself. Because any small thing, you'll be bringing it up.
Right.
But then you will see that car drive by the street. They do podcast. You say, guy, they come.
The reason why I brought this up,
you run downstairs.
The reason why I brought this up is, and of course, this is something that we can touch on next episode. But I just felt like, there's something about when we're in relationships that we sort of become insecure to an extent, and I've been trying to understand exactly where that insecurity is coming. Like I'm trying to really get. We all are
I'm
to
on
an extent,
Twitter 24/7.
because the real answer to that question is what really happened was your mate, right? Your significant
Spouse.
other
Whatever.
really had been busy all day running around.
Right.
That significant other's phone was actually dead. Basically, and this is just a scenario. His friends came over, and they were supposed to go somewhere, and because
Someone
that,
else
and
to
because
score.
yes, and
I
then
actually thought that I was gonna say that, but
you see what I'm saying? And so it was really something
was no one
innocuous.
home.
There was really no one home at the end of the day. And
But I'll be pissed.
But
though,
you see, at
you
that
didn't
point,
reach
you
out
already
to me. I will be
his
pissed.
His phone
But he
was
can't
dead.
find another phone to
you
use
should know
to
your
call me.
number.
Right. I would be upset about that.
Do you know
Yes.
your scene? Because
Yes.
Yeah, you
number
charge the
offhand?
phone.
Yes.
You charge the phone.
I mean,
No,
we've been
it's
together
fine.
forever,
You
so
find it.
yes,
You
I
gotta-
know his
or you
number.
go on Facebook.
I mean,
or Twitter
exactly.
or
You can reach him
Instagram. Yeah,
somehow. I know his
ways
number
to
by
get-
heart, so
But
I can always.
you already called the cops. 911 has already arrived.
That's you, see?
The fire truck is here.
Eventually, maybe an
Wale
hour.
is busy.
No,
But
and
of the
man
house.
spreading inside
in
the
the
car.
house.
But basically, maybe an hour into me man spreading inside my car, I probably thought about, you know what? Let me find an alternative. But the truth of the matter is, Corey, we're on Twitter 24/7, and you see the way some of this cases blow out, and you start thinking, dang, this is how people are in relationships. Like, you see how people, you know, I once met a girl years ago in England who told me for 6 good months she was having sex with her boyfriend's best friend. That it was the way they nabbed her was that the boyfriend was like in the area. So imagine like I did your area. I said, guy, I did outside, come open door. It
And
was
the girl
not.
was in
She
there
now
too.
had to find it, go out through try to come out through the back. That's when they saw her
What?
for 6. So, guy, can you imagine for 6 months the three of you are chilling?
Oh, wow. But it happens a
You're
lot,
thinking,
though. A
man,
lot.
that's my guy. This is my babe. We're home Netflixing, but not knowing that when you leave, she's coming back.
Trifling.
A
So
lot of men
a lot of
do that. So it
situations.
happens
No,
like
yeah,
that
it happens.
a
Yeah,
lot.
it
I've
happens.
heard stories.
So and she didn't see anything particularly
Wrong with
in
it?
what she was like, well, it was, you know,
What?
I didn't feel nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga.
Wow.
But these are the things we see and come across.
Yeah.
And
that's what plays in your mind.
so
and
in
you
your
start
so
thinking,
from you
Your
start
mind
thinking the
starts
worst.
racing.
What?
In the same way she started thinking the worst of me transgender. Because what she sees online.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. My answer would have been, first of all, my girl would have gotten like a litany of texts. Like you will have gotten paragraphs.
So who's the stalker
I will
now?
have already broken down.
Because in my case,
You know what?
they might have never even
It's
known I was
over.
there.
I will have
You know what I'm saying? You have said it's over.
I probably would have broken up with her by then. Just because
And the
in my
poor
mind,
girl
I'm
was
thinking
just-
there's a guy in there that's just
No, but yes, I won't lie. I would have
would've lost
probably sent that
mind.
message like, oh, okay, cool. That's how you gonna do me right now. But still,
I'll be upset, but I'll be more upset that your phone died. You couldn't think of another way to reach me. What if something was wrong with you or
then-
look
something?
at you. You already called the
You that have
whole
called police.
the police force,
At least
the army.
with Square
No,
and
but-
I,
They've already started
but
searching for
listen.
him.
Yes, I'd rather that than you be dead in a ditch somewhere, though. No. But things happen
I
like
always
that.
think death or the
But
worst in that
that's how
scenario.
I think. That's what
That's
I
not my
don't think
worst
cheating.
case.
Funny thing is, I don't think cheating. I think death and sickness and like hospital.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know. My brain is kind of weird. I don't think he's creeping. I think he's
This-
in some
this
slump
has been
somewhere.
a very long episode.
It has,
Yes,
it has,
it
it
has.
has. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up now.
Alright.
But do you want to add anything,
Yeah.
Yeti, before we go?
Call people what they want to be called. Thank you.
Okay. How about you, Wale? I want to add anything?
No, it's
I think my own last word is I'm gonna manspread for the rest of my life,
Whatever.
like a real man. Nah, I'm joking. I'm playing that. Okay.
be conscious of who's around
be
you
considerate,
and make
that's
life
all.
comfortable, regardless of
everybody.
what gender you
Exactly.
are, what
Yes.
identity
Be
you
considerate.
are.
Be
Just
considerate. Be considerate.
You know. that's all.
Please follow us. You guys already know at Smiling Pod on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, Smiling Sufferer.
Facebook,
We're
same
on
thing.
Facebook too. So
You
please,
can actually do like we have YouTube clips.
yes,
of the
you can like our
podcast and
videos. And I actually saw some results with it. We've actually been
Yeah.
getting some
Hits and stuff.
streams.
Yeah, I saw that.
So thank you guys for supporting. Wale, you're gonna take us off.
No,
actually,
it's me.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
sorry,
give
it's
it-
Excuse
Yeti.
me.
Sorry, my bad.
So,
She's about to drop the
my
most
girl-
cliche song ever.
How's it
Just
cliche?
so you know, you hear
Excuse
it.
me. The girl is back. She's been gone for a while. She had a lot of personal issues to deal with, but now everything's good. She's happy. She's secure in her relationship, and she's back. My girl Ciara with Tekno.